Welcome to Just Shootin' the Ship, also known as Old Man Spends Way Too Much Money on Fake-Ass Ships. Alright, so we're doing something a little different today. I've decided to split Just Shootin' the Ship off to its own little monthly thing. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm doing this. In fact, I'm not even calling this episode 1. I'm calling this episode 0 because I still haven't quite gotten things to where I want it. But we will cover some stuff here. And what are we going to cover in this obscenely long video, you might ask? Well, I don't know if you asked that anyways. I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm going to tell you anyways, because I'm just that kind of guy. I'm a big jerk, if you didn't know that already. I mean, hey, I play World of Warships. You know I'm an asshole. Anyway, what are we going to cover in this inaugural, unofficial, but sort of official episode of Just Shootin' the Ship? The long form, not the one that I had on Let's Grumble. This is going to be a lot longer form, but it's only going to come out once a month. I guess this is the January episode. Sort of, I don't know, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe I'll never make another one of these again. I don't know. Depends how I feel about this. Anyway, what are we going to do in this episode? Well, I'm going to talk about, hey, you know, I'm going to read the update notes. No one's ever done that before, so hey, why not? That should be fun. If you don't have eyes or can't read, that might be an interest to you. So yeah, we'll go over the patch notes for the new update, which should be dropping tomorrow if I'm quick and actually get this up in time. What else do we do? I'm going to show you how to play Tier 1 cruisers like a champ, like me, because I'm lame and like playing Tier 1 ships because I'm a big jerk and like to pick on the freshmen. Also, I just really like Tier 1, and hey, who knows, maybe someone out there doesn't know the game very well, or maybe you just want to learn about the game, and maybe you're on the fence about getting into it, and maybe you're like, hey, I'm gonna click on this video some asshole I've never heard of made, and he's gonna teach me how to do the thing with the boats and the fire. So yeah, we're going to do part 1 of our guide to Tier 1. It's going to be a long overarching thing. Possibly 12 more episodes of it. Possibly no more episodes of it. I guess we'll find out after today. Let's see, what else are we going to do? I am going to teach you how to whale. But not whale hard. I'm going to teach you how to whale smart. Because if you don't know, yes, I do spend too much money on this game. But honestly, if you ask some people, $1 is too much to spend on this game. And honestly, I'm somewhat inclined to agree with them. However, if you are going to spend $1, I want you to get your dollar's worth out of that dollar. I'll teach you how to make educated decisions on whether you should or whether you shouldn't spend money. I'll give you a good example of what I do. So we'll cover that. And finally, I'd just like to make a little trip down memory lane. We're going to talk about old patch notes. We're going to talk about like what it was back in my day, folks. Back when dinosaurs roamed the earth. And yeah, back before carriers. It was a wild time. It was like the Wild West back then. Anyways, I'm doing this for no reason at all. I have no ambitions of anyone ever watching this. I'm mainly doing this to amuse myself. I guess if you want anything for an opening, I'll give you a little opening rant. And that's that there are a lot of people that make videos on World of Warships on YouTube. And while I think that some of them are not too bad, and I think they have good intentions. Actually, I think there are actually a few that are very entertaining, truthfully. But hey, here's the thing. There's a lot of content creators out there. And by content creators, I mean they are official content creators for wargaming. Essentially, they make videos and get paid. or they don't get paid. They get paid in basically freebies and exclusive preview stuff. Basically to help their channel out and to give the game exposure. It seems to be a requirement for if you're going to make it into the CC community, you have to be able to suck a golf ball through a garden hose. Really, really nice. And you gotta smile and make eye contact while doing it. And don't forget to, maybe just reach a little under there and, roll them around a little bit. So you got to do all that. And you also have to, and this is a requirement, I am certain. Every month you need to bitch about how much you're getting sick of the game and how boring it's getting and how you're never going to play this again and you're just done. And then next week you release another episode because apparently you hate your life. It's a weird strategy, wargaming. I don't quite get it, but it seems like you've got the saltiest, whiniest, cryest people making videos for you. Let me stress, I do like a couple of them. I think they're all right. Some of them I think could bore the paint off of an old chair, but some of them are actually halfway decent. Some of them are halfway entertaining. But oh my God, are they whiny little bitches? I guess if anything, I just don't want to be a whiny little bitch. I want there to be like at least one person out there who makes videos who isn't constantly crying about how greedy wargaming is and oh how the game's getting so boring and oh I don't like aircraft carriers. You can't see it, but I'm waving my hands around dramatically. I guess that's the benefit of only having the Coast Guard ship up on the screen. You can't really see me being over dramatic and mugging. But yeah, I guess that's what this is. It's the World of Warships Legends show that I wish existed out there. Am I doing anything new? No, not really. I'm trying a few things that might be a little bit different. If we actually get into a few episodes down the line, you'll probably see some of the cooler stuff I kind of have planned. But for now, this is just a really weird monthly long-form episode that I wanted to do. I've been looking at doing a goofy spin-off thing from Let's Grumble for a while now. Maybe this will work. And by the way, by work, I don't mean get views. I mean whether I think it's worth a damn, whether I think it's worth my time. I don't make money from this, folks. I'm definitely not a paid wargaming shill by any means. I just like the game, and I spend a lot of time and money on it, and this is kind of my current game. So I figured, what the hell, let's make some videos on it. If anything, I'll amuse myself. Best case scenario, maybe a few of you are amused. Anyways, folks, let's just get into it. Let's, yeah, all right, let's do it. Hello, do you like patch notes but don't like to read? Literacy's for suckers. Luckily, I am here to read you patch notes like every other sucker on YouTube. Alright, let's go over patch notes, folks. Hey, because, tradition and such, I guess. I don't know. Everyone and their motherfucking does it. I don't know why you can't just read the patch notes on your own, but hey. Don't consider this more of a I'm going to read you shit for no good reason. This is going to be more or less an opinion piece. Basically, what do I feel about this update? Alright, the January update, anchors up. Oh, if you couldn't read, that's what it says on the screen, by the way, folks. Alright. Let's go over the patch notes. Oh, there's maintenance times. There's maintenance times. It's going to be on the 19th at 1 a.m. Central. That's 2 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be, there's update sizes. Let's talk about the update size. Let's not. Let's just get into the fucking meat and potatoes. Hey, there's a video we could watch. That's almost, god damn, the meta is so crazy on this. All right. let's go over the January update. More importantly, what I think about the January update. Ahoy, captains! The first update is upon you. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so what are we looking at? We're looking at a campaign, Born of Battle, the Kremlin Marathon, the French Navy event, and the Boobs collaboration. I'm kidding. It's Azure Boobs. I mean Azure Lane Wave 7. Everyone's excited about that for some reason. Actually, the commanders are kind of busted and so are the ships, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. All right. Let's see. We're going to cover... Hey, look, it's basically a table of contents. Let's just move on to Born of Battle campaign. All right, so it's going to be available. Oh, look, the entire fucking update. Go figure. That's how long the update's going to last. Oh, I thought this was a 4-week update. Apparently, it's a 5-week update. Well, I guess I'll be bored next week now. All right, so Admiral backing. You're not going to get it for free this time. You gotta pay the man some money. You gotta pay him $10 if you want this ship. But you're probably gonna want to because it's tied in with the marathon, and we'll get into that. All right, so what do we got? We got some ship here, and that pretty much sums up my feelings on the ship itself. Let's see. It's got a damage control party. It's a British destroyer. I could care fucking less. I'll get it. That's certainly, but I don't know. We'll find out. All right, so it's got a damage control party. It's got a sonar, a smoke generator, and your option between a repair party or a torpedo reload booster. And if I'm not mistaken, although torpedo damage is not high, you can really spam enemies thanks to the torpedoes, thanks to the torpedo reload booster cooldown time being the same as the torpedo reload time. So what that means is every time you fire a full salvo of torpedoes, you can just fire another full salvo. So that's 20 torpedoes every... let's see, what is the reload time on this? 100 every 2 fucking minutes. Why bother? All right. Actually, it's not bad. If you space this out, that could actually be pretty useful. I don't know. I don't play destroyers. I don't really like... I play destroyers. I just don't really like playing destroyers. I'd rather have a gunboat. This doesn't seem very gunboaty. I don't know. Actually, no, I take that back. The reload time's 4 seconds. It's got, actually, this is kind of a gunboat, and it's got good torpedoes. Well, actually, the damage isn't pretty good for Tier 8, but I guess. All right, so you can get your some ship. 100 milestones, 5 weeks. You'll be able to complete the challenge tasks in war mode, or war tales. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Admiralty backing, it's probably going to be $10. What are we getting for all our trouble? We're getting 5 commendations, which is nice. I'll take 5 commendations. 45 promotion orders. That's okay. 5 insignias ain't bad. Premium days. Oh, I need those like I need a hole in the head. Ship parts. Bam! This is where it comes in. 5,500 ship parts. We'll get 3 of these French battleship crates. And an Azure Lane 7 crate. Ooh! Or actually, I think that's 2 of them. Is it? Yeah, I think it's the top and the bottom number that you're supposed to look at. So you get 3 of these French battleship crates. We'll go over those in a little bit. Azure Lane 7 crates. You'll get 2 of them. Hey, that's great. Everyone likes boob ships. British Commander crate. Yeah, whoopity ding. A flag. If you collect flags and some patch parts. And of course you'll get some ship or summy ship. I don't know. Some. Some. The sum of all parts, if you will. All right, so that's that. It's a whoop-de-ding, in my opinion. I was kind of hoping for a cooler campaign ship than just another British destroyer, but okay, whatever. If that's your thing, that's your thing. Not mine. Kremlin Marathon starts. Oh boy, everyone's excited about the Kremlin. I don't know why, but people love to obsess over fake-ass Russian battleships that aren't real. Everyone and their mother's been crying forever. When are you gonna put the Kremlin in? We want the Kremlin in. When is the Kremlin coming? Blah, 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 blah. It's coming. It's coming. It's finally here. Hooray. Hooray. All right, we're launching a new marathon. Time to final reward. Soviet blah, 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 blah. Ship parts across 3 updates, starting with this one. Blah, 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 blah. First stage. Yeah, it runs the whole update. Go figure. You get ship parts from the Born a Battle campaign, weekly assignments, and as a bonus with new battleship skins from the French Navy event. Ooh, alright, I will get into this in just a second. Oh wait, no, there's no other info on it. Alright, so I've already looked into the thing that they put out about it. To me, it looks like there is no limit on when you can redeem this ship. And that's interesting news. You can get ship parts from stuff in the store. And the skins that you're going to get from this crate. Now, I don't know if they've addressed the double dipping thing that they had with the Hindenburg campaign. But if they haven't, I will have this day 1 of the second update. And I'm going to park it in the corner of the map. I'm going to be as useless as fucking possible, and I'm going to request intelligence data all fucking match. Because you know why? I hate these overhyped ships that everyone's been excited about. I'll probably troll like a son of a bitch in this thing, and it'll be great fun, and I can, be happy. It'll probably be worth the money just for me to have a little smile on my face, because such little makes me smile. Moving on, speaking of smiles and faces and big boobs, Azer Lane Wave 7 is coming. All 5 new Azer Lane commanders are arriving in Legends. The V-Veneto, the Agir, the Tallinn, the Massachusetts, and Z-24 without the dash in it, because that's the way they actually did the names. Along with 4 new ships and 1 special skin, blah, 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 blah. Alright, so essentially we're getting 4 ships, a new skin, and 5 new commanders. You know what? Fuck it. We'll go over all this stuff in detail. Why not? The French Navy event. New skins, calendar, and commander. Oh, man. If I could not be less excited, I would be. Alright, so, hey, you get fancy French ships. Boy, these look real practical with all these ribbons all over. I bet this is wonderful for the crew to be able to look out the window and just see a big fucking banner in their way. That's probably going to help in battle. That and this ribbon on the bow that's going to get fucking waterlogged and just be a fucking hindrance. Yeah, that's going to be useful too. Look at it. It's got a big old cock on the front of it. Yeah, you know the French and their big old cocks. Gotta have my cock right on front of the ship. And my big plaque to say something in French, probably, we baguette Jerry Lewis. I don't know. I don't give a fuck about these goddamn things, but hey, we're going to get one for Normandy, Lyon, Richelieu, Alsace, Bourgogne, and Strasbourg, and Flandre. Or Stupid Flanders, as I like to call them. Each skin comes with bonus ship parts. Which will help you progress through the Kremlin Marathon. You can find the new skins individually in the store or in the French battleship crates. Alright, so for those of you who probably don't know, when they did this ship parts in the crate last time, if you got the skins out of the crates, you got the ship parts. And then if you bought them in the store, you also got the ship parts. boom, you're doubling up on ship parts every fucking time. This made it so you could easily get it within the first, within at least the, I'll put it this way, day 2 of the update for the Hindenburg Marathon, or day 1, I had it. Just because I had I basically got all the stuff out of the crates. I saw an exploit, I took it, and you know, it cost me a little bit of money, but it was funny because I had the Hindenburg, and I have a video on trolling in the Hindenburg if you want to watch it. It's not very good, but it's not very cool, but it's what I like to do. I'm not a very cool guy. Besides, is the second you log into this game, you're my sworn enemy, and that's what I'll stick to, especially if you're on the blue team. Alright, several French battleship crates are available for free throughout the campaign calendar and multi-courage mission. I'm excited like I'm not. Alright, Commander Guys. Of course it's a Commander Guys. Alright, Commander Guys is, I am a little over Commander Guys' oh, look at this one. Marianne! No Ginger, but we'll get Marianne. Alright, also complete the 3-week Keeper of Liberty calendar to receive Marianne Guys for French commanders. She features unique French voiceovers like Lumiere affecting colors of the French flag. And a daily bonus of 30% global XP. Alright, when you hit enemies 45 times with your main batteries. Alright, so in other words, it's a gunboat destroyer / cruiser useful bonus on that. Again, I care like I don't. It's another Guys. I'll have another Guys. Hooray. If you're French, I'm certain you're really excited. Maybe you know who this Marianne chick is. I don't fucking know who she is. I don't care. Alright, so we're getting a new commander. Charles Blurry. Charles Durning. I don't fucking care. Alright, he is a, looks like a destroyer commander. Don't miss one more activity, the Mer de Courage mission, which will reward you with the French commander Charles Blurry. He's the perfect fit for traditional destroyers, including Marseille. He has unique features. Boy, my French accent's probably fucking horrible. I'm gonna cringe so hard when I'm editing this, folks. It's gonna be so bad, the worst. His base trait is something else in French. The Officier de Tir. Improve your destroyer main battery by up to 3%. Hooray. Or your range up to 3% in damage against other destroyers by 4%. Alright, so he's strictly a gunboat destroyer hunter. Hooray. Yeah, they said it'd be good on Marceau. I guess it'll be good on Marceau. Unique skill, strong diplomacy. Increase destroyer main battery traverse by 3.2%. That is nothing to fucking slouch at. That's screaming. Your turrets will be spinning so fast you might turn into a helicopter. That's gonna be pretty fast. Alright, main battery reload booster duration by up to 22.5%. That's reasonable. That's an extra fifth of your duration. If they weren't so fucking shittily short, it'd probably be a little bit better, but I don't know. I don't care. I don't really like French destroyers, so I'm not super excited, but oh well. It'll probably be useful. Hooray. Lunar New Year, the discounts in the store, and a special mission. Oh man, Lunar New Year's coming back. What are we going to get? Visit the store from February 9th to the 23rd, so essentially most of the update. Inspired by Lunar New Year ships, skins, and commander guises up to 40% off. You can also claim a free coupon that'll give you a 2,500 doubloon compensation for purchasing select Pan-Asian and Japanese premium ships. I would be excited about this if I did not already own every purchasable Pan-Asian and Japanese ship in the shop. Boo fucking who for me. On the plus side, if you don't own all the ships like me because you're not a filthy, filthy whale, you might get, hey, you know, it's one of those spend a lot of money, get a little bit of money back, eh? That's something, I guess, whatever. So, is that it? Oh, wait, hold on. Don't forget to complete the special mission to receive a Lunar New Year 25. All right, so there is nothing new. 6 New Year skins. Obtain one of 6 for only. All right, so you can obtain one of the previous Lunar New Year skins for only 1 doubloon. Hooray. All right, so Lunar New Year, apparently, fuck the year of the horse. We don't give a fuck about that horse. Fuck that crooked horse. That's what they say. We ain't giving you shit for anything in the store. We'll give you a coupon where you got to spend money, and maybe another coupon where you got to spend just a tiny little bit of money. It'll make you have an odd number of doubloons, which is always fun. And hey, get a free crate. Maybe you can get that Takachi from last year. You got a 1 in 100 shot. 1 in 100 shot. No guarantee system. 1 in 100 shot. Fuck you, Wargaming. Jesus Christ. Why do I like you? Why do I like your game? It's because I'm cripplingly addicted to it. That's why. Alright, new bureau project, the Goodenloo. Oh boy, the Goodenloo is finally here. Oh my god, oh, jeez, oh, Pete's. New bureau project, Goodenloo, the top creme de la creme, the legendary of the Dutch premium, or the Dutch cruiser line. I would be so fucking excited if I didn't already have it. I would be over the fucking moon. I was a big dummy and paid money for it. But you know what? I've had it for over a year and I'm kind of happy. I like my big Coast Guard looking ship. I'm happy I have it. Actually, I wonder if it'll come with the French, or French. I wonder if it'll come with the Dutch Navy skin that they had for this special event last year. So, I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I hope it doesn't, because I like that to be an exclusive thing, because I've paid a lot of fucking money for that thing. But hey, I got a fleet of ships that look like the fucking Coast Guard. That's always fun. It's the little things in life, you know. Fleet Cup 6. I do not give a fuck about Fleet Cup. I do not play well with others, if you haven't heard. So I do not care about Fleet Cup. I do have a fleet. There's 2 of us that actually play, honestly, in it. Not enough to get a Fleet Cup going, and I would have to actually talk to someone to do that. I don't want to do that. Not going to Fleet Cup. If that's your thing, hooray for you. I bet you're really excited. Ranked battles. Oh my god, more ranked battles. I fucking hate ranked. Look, it's nice. Alright, well, let's look at what we're going to get. 2 seasons of ranked battles, featuring 3-player teams and tier 6 and 7 ships. Ooh, excluding aircraft carriers. Ooh. Climbing through the ranks, you will bring you various rewards, including steel crates, camouflages, and commander progression items. The steel is all I care about. It's not worth the effort. I hate having to rely on a fucking team of randos to not fucking blow it every fucking time. And odds are there's going to be at least one that gets in there that's just better than me and gets the fucking win, gets the top spot even if we lose, so I constantly go backwards. Not worth my time, not worth my effort. I've got over 500 ships. I gotta play, and I like to play through them on a rotation. I'm a busy man is what I'm saying. I ain't got time for this rank nonsense. Especially in tier 6 or tier 5s. I don't know. There's some tier 6s and tier 5s I really like. I mean tier 6s and 7s I really like. So we got that going for us. Hooray. Brawl Seasons 35 and 36. Oh boy. And more Brawl Seasons are arriving with 3 vs 3 battles in low tier cruisers and battleships. Now you got my attention, game. To make sailing low tier ships more fun, they're not fun already? They're fun. Don't let them fool you. They are fun. We'll significantly buff them by improving their main battery reload times, damage, and traverse speed, as well as consumable reload time and ship speed. Okay, whatever, I guess. Rewards include crates, camouflages, rare boosters, and more. Tier 2 cruisers and Tier 3 battleships. Alright, now we're talking. I have been wanting this for fucking ever. Everyone else who's read the patch notes to you, most of them are just glazing this over, but I am super fucking excited. Tier 2 and 3 get no fucking love. It's finally nice that we're getting a brawl season for Tier 2 cruisers. I'm liking that. They keep giving us all these goofy Tier 2 cruisers. I'm thrilled as hell. You know, this is... I get to play my fucking Milwaukee. I get to play my Charleston. I get to play my Erie. I'm certain there's other Tier 2 cruisers that I have that aren't American that I can't think of off the top of my head. But hey, I could play them. Tier 3 battleships, I could play that Knyaz Kuzanov, or no, I don't remember the name of it. It's in Russian. It's essentially that battleship that was in Tsushima. I like that ship. I want to play it. I'll probably actually play these brawls. Normally the rewards aren't worth the trouble, but yeah, I'll probably do it. Especially if there's going to be Tier 2. But I tell you, I've been hoping that they would do this for a while, and they finally fucking did it. I'm actually kind of happy. Alright, full release of Japanese hybrid battleship line. Hooray. I already have all these. Mainly because I got really lucky. I wasn't even trying to get them. I just ended up getting them with some crates that I ended up getting. I wasn't even trying. I got all of them. There was only 3 anyways. Yeah, okay, whatever. Hey, I guess everyone can get them now if they want, for free. So, alright, new modifications. Alright, now this is interesting. Chromium plated barrels. Alright, so we're getting new modifications. Chromium plated barrels improves main battery dispersion by 5%, which isn't much if you honestly ask me, but if you're doing an accuracy build, that might be every little bit helps, you know. Can be installed in slot 3, so okay, 2 million credits apiece. On all ships tier 6 and higher, as well as on several lower tier ships. Okay, the Nassau, the Bellefontaine, Arkansas, and Milwaukee. So the special ones that get, all 4 mod slots. That's kind of cool. I'm not going to lie, that is kind of cool. Supercharges. Improve AP shells in bomb penetration by 10% and increase main battery range by 5%. And I don't know. I've already not caring. Shell grouping worsening. Oh, shell grouping worsening. All right, let me look this over. All right, you're improving your AP penetration. You're increasing your range, but you're making your grouping worse. It's a slot 2. It's only 400,000 credits. Okay, in slot 2 on all British and Commonwealth ships of tier 5. All right, so it's a very specific mod, and I do not care. I will probably never take this. I can kind of see a little bit of coolness in AP penetration for, especially your British ships that pretty much almost exclusively use AP, but they've already got really good angles. Or no, they don't have good angles. They've already got really decent fuse timers. So, I don't know. I don't think that's super interesting. Chromium-plated barrels, definitely interesting. But supercharges, I don't know. It's very situational. I'll put it that way. I don't like taking away from my grouping. What's the point of having penetration if you can't fucking hit it? You know? You can penetrate the water better, I suppose. That's always good. And you can do it 10% even further. Which is great, because then you'll be able to really miss. Well, that's fun. Alright, good news. War Tales will continue for one more update. This is good fucking news for me, folks, because I fucking loved War Tales 3. And I'm trying to run all my ships. And remember, I have 500 plus ships. I'm trying to run them all through War Tales, and I still have another 100 to go. I thought I was going to have to grind like a son of a bitch the last few days to try to get at least some of them through. I've got 5 more weeks. This is good news for me. Oh, and there's a redeem code. You get 1 winter crate, 5 air dragon camouflages, 5 fire dragon camouflages, 10 common battle boosters. I care like I don't. I don't know. Actually, fire dragon camos and air dragons are ugly. I do like the fire dragon ones, but it's only 5 camos. I mean, honestly, this is maybe I'm gonna go out on a limb and say maybe a $3 value, maybe a $4 value. It's not much. I'll put it that way. This is, hey, anything free is worth saving up for, right? Friend system on mobile. Mobile players can also add friends, similar to console players. What, they couldn't do that in the first place? Suck it, mobile play. Well, I guess not suck it anymore. Now you get them. Wow, yeah, must suck to suck. All right, sweet. By the way, I do have this on mobile. It fucking blows. I don't know how anyone plays it there. It's fucking horrible. Improvements and bug fixes. Console. Fixed an issue where Rodney's camera briefly moved to the ship's right side when switching to turret view. Actually, that kind of sounds cool. I kind of wish I would have known that was a bug. Maybe I'll go try to find it before the update. I don't have much time, but hey. Fixed a bug that caused Defense's third-person camera to be too close to the ship. That actually might be, you know, I might go try to find these bugs because they actually sound kind of cool. Alright, fixed a bug where bundle purchases pop up but don't close after a single tap. Alright, that's mobile. I don't care. I suppose if you're on mobile and you're already playing a shitty version of the game, it'll be that much less shitty, but who cares? Oh, and I think, well, this is interesting. I forgot to mention, if you redeem this code, S5HTAN, for those of you who can't read, you probably have a hard time typing it, though, if you can't read. If this is your first time redeeming this code from the patch notes, you will also receive the Captain Reader flag. Oh, be still my heart. Be still my heart. If I didn't already have it, I'd be more excited. Another goddamn flag for my collection. Hooray. So that's the notes. You can't see it, but I'm holding my arms up. Ta-da! I read the notes for you. Hooray. Now I'm going to go do something else. So you want to learn about Tier 1 cruisers. Well, you came to the right fucking place because I know Tier 1 cruisers. You know, we all start off with Tier 1, and then most of us move on from Tier 1, but not me. Oh no, I'm stubborn like that. Just like in school, they just kept holding me back, like Phil Collins in Genesis. Anyway, you've come to the right place if you do want to learn about Tier 1 cruisers here. We're going to be covering all of them eventually. This is part 1 of a long series, folks. But we're going to be covering the Tier 1 cruisers. And if you know what, maybe this ain't your cup of biscuits. And, you know, maybe you should just, you know, fuck off if that's the case. But if you do want to know, this is a good place to learn. Maybe you like hazing the freshmen. Maybe you're just simple like me and like old ships. Or, I don't know, maybe you're new starting off in the game and accidentally clicked on my video for some reason. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to tell you a thing or two about a thing or two. So, we're going to cover the Pan-China Fleet cruiser today. Well, I know it's Pan-Asia, but let's face it, it's Pan-China. Trust me, I've looked at the numbers, folks. 2/3 of these ships in the whole fleet are Chinese. Granted, maybe a third of those are Taiwan, but still technically Chinese. You got your commie Chinese and then your non-commie Chinese. Either way, still Chinese. So anyways, we're going to be covering the Xi'an. And the Xi'an here, oh, look it in its beautiful, beautiful, majestic glory. In the Lunar New Year background. Because it's Lunar New Year, well-ish. It's somewhere around now, I'm pretty certain. I don't know, I'm not Pan-Asian, so I wouldn't know. Anyway, Tier 1 cruiser for the Pan-Asia fleet. Oh, what am I doing? Come on. There we go. All right, so what you're looking at here is the Xi'an. It is... oh, what is it? It is a cruiser with reasonably good speed for her time, but suffering from rather poor armament and armor. Okay, if you know anything about naval history or have any common sense at all, never read these. They are just usually a waste of your fucking time. There's lies all over this fucking page. For starters, look at that reloader thing up at the top, the descriptor reloader. This thing, above average main battery speed, or main battery reload speed? No. No. Actually, this is definitively average for the tier. And we'll get into that. But, light cruiser, yeah, they got that right. Poor armament and armor? No. No, not for the tier. For the tier, this is actually kind of on the higher end when it comes to armament, and the armor is... we'll get into the armor. We'll get into the armor. This ship has some interesting armor, I'll put it that way. Alright, could act as a scout. Well, it was a scout cruiser. Cruisers of this class were the first ships in the U.S. Navy to have... U.S. Navy? But this is a Chinese boat! Alright, so these are actually originally Chester class. Or I should say, this is actually originally a Chester class. They were scout cruisers for the U.S. Navy. 2 of them did feature turbines. 1 of them did not. Thing that the U.S. Navy loved to do back then was they would experiment with propulsion, and essentially what they'd do is they'd build a class of ships. They'd build 3 or 4 of them, and they would put like different propulsion plants in each ship. And in this case, you had the Chester, which had a Parsons turbine. You had the Salem, which had a Curtiss turbine. And you had the Birmingham, which had your vertical triple expansion engine, which was basically the style at the time. Spoilers, the Chester won out. The Parsons turbine were really good. The Curtiss turbines were just about as fast. They're just a little bit slower, but they consumed a lot more coal. So it was just, that's a history lesson. Y'all don't need it. All right, so let's look at. All right, they remain the only turbine cruisers in the U.S. Navy for a long time. All right, I don't know. Sure, why not? The point of this whole thing is not all of them had turbines, and more importantly, all 3 all 3 served in World War I, were decommissioned a few years after the war, and then they were all scrapped in the 1930s. So which one is this? It's none of them. It's a cheap Chinese knockoff. It's literally the perfect Chinese cruiser. It is a cheap Chinese knockoff. And we'll get into why that is. But no, seriously, none of our ships ended up in China. Well, I should say none of the Chesters ended up in China under the Chinese flag, sailing for China. Instead, they were all scrapped. So this is Temu Chester, which is actually kind of a clever thing that they did here, and I'll explain why. And it's a bit long-winded, but I think it's worth explaining. All right, so in the PC version of the game, you have the Chester, which is your Tier 2 American cruiser. Funnily enough, the Albany is the Tier 2 premium cruiser for the U.S. Now, one thing I should mention. All right, so the PC's Tier 2 is kind of our Tier 1. Their Tier 1 is a bunch of nonsensical stuff that shouldn't even be counted because they're not fucking cruisers. They've started to do that in this game too, but you know what? We'll get there in due time. Anyway, anyways, you had the Chester. They released the console version of Legends. They put in the Albany instead, which I was over the moon to see, but here's the thing, now you don't have the Chester in the game. They're not going to put it in as a Tier 2 premium, because it just isn't a Tier 2. It's not better than the Albany by any means. Well, it has its pluses. The point is it's not a Tier 2 ship. They refuse to put in Tier 1 premiums. Okay, I guess. Well, I still say they could. Fuck, I'd pay money for them because there's a lot of cool ships down in this range of history here. That's actually why I play Tier 1 so often, because I love the turn of the century warships. They were just trying so many different things. These are the interesting ones. By the time World War II came along, yeah, they were trying a few new things, but for the most part, it was all dialed in. It was very boring, in my opinion. But it's these early first steps I find to be the most interesting. Anyways, so yeah, the Chester was the Tier 2. They can't put it into this game. So what did Wargaming do? Oh, they snuck it in. They snuck it in like sneaky little sneaks. So what they did is they rebranded it as the Xi'an. They changed it dramatically, and essentially we have a knockoff Chester. Boy, that was a long description just to get at what I'm talking about here. But you know what? Let's go into some of the specs on this ship. All right, its armor is 6 to 38. Now, that seems pretty lame, and compared to a lot of other Tier 1s, a lot of other Tier 1s have higher armor. However, as if you've been playing a while, you know, armor isn't about thickness, it's about where you have it. And that'll come important into it. We'll get into it when we look at the armor. Hit points, 1,200. All right, 1,200 hit points is not very good. It's not very bad, but it's not very good. This is actually kind of on the lower end. It's about 7th. It's about the 7th highest, it's about the 7th highest amount of hit points, which means it's like 4th from the bottom. It's not good. It is actually below average. The average for the whole thing is 13,305 would be your average hit points for the tier, and that's bear in mind that this is not counting the Tier 1 Pan American cruiser yet. It hasn't been released, obviously. So who knows? That could change. All right, so let's go down to main battery. 152 millimeters. Okay, that's a 6-inch. 152 equals 6-inch. I hate doing math in my head, but here it is. It's an American ship. We did things in inches. Get over yourself, Europe. Anyway, 6-inch guns on this thing. All right, this is why it's a cheap Chinese knockoff. The Chesters never had 6-inch guns. They had 5-inch guns, but they never had 6 inches. They didn't have 6 of them either, and that's the ridiculous part right there. They had a secondary battery. Obviously, we don't get a secondary battery. They also had torpedoes that we also don't get, but hey, it's Tier 1. They're probably not going to throw some of that fancy stuff at you right at the beginning of the game. Yet another reason why I do like Tier 1, it's a simplified version of the game. That is one of the reasons why I like it. This is the game at its purest, most basic principle of gameplay. You don't have to make a whole lot of, there is some strategy, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, it's very straightforward. It's the most base level of the game that you can possibly play. And I don't know why, I kind of love it for that. Alright, so let's get into, alright, so the main firing range. Alright, so originally it's 8.8. We have the targeting upgrade, that brings it up to 9.7. Alright, so the range for this ship is the second worst in the fucking tier. The range is horrible on this thing. Reload time we covered, it is literally average. Turret turn time, this is one of the slowest turning turrets in the tier. There's really only 4 different speeds of turrets at Tier 1, and this is the second slowest. The only thing that's slower than this is the Weymouth, or the Weymouth. I don't know how it's pronounced. I don't speak Britain. But anyways, I don't like the way that Wargaming does this. 22.5 seconds to turn 180 degrees. That equals 8 degrees per second. I go through the trouble to actually calculate it in degrees per second. It just makes more sense to me. Shell grouping 2. Alright, every Tier 1 ship is going to have a 2. We're not going to cover grouping or dispersion. HE shell damage. This is not terrible. This is actually above average. It's about fourth from the top. But I should stress that the only reason the average is so fucking low is because of the fucking Jupiter that can't even crack 900. I think it's 850 for the Jupiter. That just drives the average so fucking low that this thing actually kind of shines. So its damage is nothing to write home about. It's on par with the Albion, but Weymouth, Chakuma, and Jurian are all better than this thing. Actually by quite a bit. Fire setting chances, 7%. That is definitively pretty darn close to average for the tier. And that's only because of the fucking Dresden with its shitty little, I think it's got 102s. It's got some really shitty guns. Anyways, Xi'an is, right now we're looking at kind of middle of the road so far. Except for it's got shitty turret time and its range is fucking abysmal. Armor penetration, not going to concern ourselves too much with that just now. Just know that you're going to penetrate most armor at this tier, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue. Alright, so let's move on. AA defenses. Yes, AA defenses. This thing has AA guns. That would mean something if you were fighting planes at this tier, but you never will, so let's move on. Maximum speed, 22 knots. Alright, now this is what kind of pisses me off. This is why it's a cheap knockoff of a Chester, by the way. On the PC, the maximum speed of the Chester is 24 knots. In reality, the Chester classes that was their design speed, was 24 knots. Spoilers, even the Birmingham could beat fucking 24 knots. Not by much, I think it hit like 24.5. Either way, the Chester itself could easily pull, I think, 26.5 knots. So I mean, this is abysmally slow. Again, really, this isn't that good of a ship. In comparison to a lot of its contemporaries at the tier, it's not super great. Its turning radius, it's a little bit wider than average. Its rudder shift time, it's slightly better than average, but not by much. Not by much at all. I would say it's in the top half, but just barely. Alright, concealment. Alright, so mainly all I really look at here is detectability range by sea. which is 8.7. That is below average. Average being 8.4, but this is an 8.7. It's not that good. It can be seen from a mile away. I mean, fucking look at the thing. It's practically a fucking billboard. You can't miss this thing. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, concealment. All right, this detectability after firing main guns. I never pay attention to this because it is just the range of your guns. It'll always be that. I've never seen it not that. But the thing that I always kind of look at is something that I call area of engagement. And essentially that is the area where it's essentially the area where you can shoot your guns but you can't be seen. Well, I shouldn't say you can't be seen until you shoot your guns. So essentially what that is that's basically area or detectability after firing main guns minus detectability range by sea. For this ship, it's a 1. It's 1 kilometer. Without the little booster on it, it's 0.1. So we're already looking. This has got literally the worst area of engagement in the game. It's in a 3-way tie for the bottom. It's not very good. This helps it out, but bear in mind, any ship with that little upgrade is going... Basically, if anyone has the upgrade, they've got you beat in that. So take that for what it's worth. So not very sneaky, not very maneuverable. So-so guns, not very great, and so-so survivability. So what does this ship have going for it? Does it have any fucking thing going for it? Yes, it does. It has one thing going for it, and it's that orange line right there. Oh, yeah, that thing. That is the thing that is going to be your saving grace in this ship. Now let me show you something here. Alright, so it's Citadel. Not the best. It's slightly above the water. That looks like it's just screaming to be penetrated. But, oh, look at that. You've got a little bit of protection just above the waterline there. And this is the thickest side armor you will ever see on a ship at Tier 1. This armor belt here is thick enough where it can block every shell at Tier 1 with exception of 2 of them. And that would be the Weymouths, and that's even at maximum range. Or the Gelderlands, but not at maximum range. So the Gelderland would have to be kind of close to you, but nothing else is going to be able to penetrate this thing whatsoever. So what does that mean for you? That means you can go full broadside and not really worry. Well, unless it's a fucking Weymouth, then you gotta fucking bow in and, you know, just kind of play a little bit of angling defense. But for the most part, you don't have to worry about taking citadels, which I think is very handy. Now, granted, the rest of its armor is fucking abysmal, but it's Tier 1, and that's kind of par for the course. But that's what we're looking at there. Now, one thing that I would say is look at the guns on this ship. All right, for starters, that one in the casement down there, it's a fake gun, doesn't count. But you're looking at these 6 main guns here. Now, one thing that I always take into consideration is what is going to be your best broadside salvo. And with this ship, it's 4 guns, which isn't terrible, but it isn't the best. It's very so-so. It's very normal. So what we got here is a average to below average ship. Now, what can you do with that? You can do a few things with that. By the way, the only reason I have Deng Shisheng on here is mainly just to show you the raw stats. I probably should have disengaged the upgrade. By the way, you have one upgrade. It costs 500 credits, which is laughably a tiny amount of credits. You'll have it in one match. I highly recommend you pick it up. Even if you're not gonna fucking play Tier 1, why wouldn't you? It's 500 credits. Anyway, alright, so your loadout, you only have high explosive shells. You only got one consumable, damage party, and you got infinite of them. Duration 5 seconds, reload time 60 seconds. That will never change. It's always that for every single ship at the tier. Like I said, they keep this very simple. It's mainly for learning how to play the game. Again, it's kind of frowned upon to play Tier 1, but I like playing Tier 1, mainly because I'm a big bully and I hate the other players. But, no, mainly, I shouldn't say me. Mainly, it's really just because I like these ships. And I do find the Tier 1 matches kind of fun. So, what can we do with this? What are we going to do commander-wise? Now, I'm going to give you 3 potential builds for this ship. And you can kind of do it any way you want. By the way, there is no right way to play this game. Despite what all the fucking snobs over on Reddit will tell you. If you're good, you're good. If you suck, you suck. I suck. Get good, I guess. I don't know. What I'm going to tell you isn't the way to play the ship. It's just a suggestion on what might help if you're trying to do good with it. So, I guess the first build I'll show you is Ding Ruchang. Ding Ruchang is he's the commander you're going to start off with automatically. This is the perfect guy to show you essentially where you're going to want to be with this ship if you're just going to stick with the original commander. Now you'll notice I don't have old Dinger up to his maximum ability here. He's only a 12 with a 3 legendary rank. I'm working on it, folks. I don't have any of my commanders up to the top yet. I do things kind of on a across-the-board thing with a few exceptions. But for the most part, all my commanders are not maxed out. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to tell you is kind of the maxed out equivalents. But yes, you won't see these stats exactly as they are. Even if you don't have them maxed out, they'll still help. I should reaffirm that. This should help either way. Unless it's like he's only got like 3 or 4 ranks, which would give you access to all the skills. Well, except for that one. But even if you only had 1 legendary rank, yeah, it's not going to be very helpful, but it'll be somewhat helpful. Actually, your legendary skills are probably some of the best. Anyways, let's get into Ding. Alright, so the old Dinger's got a gunslinger for his base trait, which is main battery reload. I love this thing. Granted, the best you're going to get out of it is -4%, but -4% can be kind of handy if you kind of need it. Especially, God, this guy is so fucking useful for battleships because he's a universal commander. You can actually just there's no battleship or destroyer attached to this. It's just any ship, main battery reload, -4 seconds. Or -4 seconds, I wish. -4%. So that's what we're going at with this. Essentially, this build is going to be just maximizing the amount of damage I can do per second. And I'll get into how I kind of calculate that too, by the way, folks. I do it a little bit different than most people. Alright, so skill one, your first skill that you got here, contact is imminent. Torpedoes, you don't have those. No fly zone, you're not fighting planes. Your only option here really is burn it down, which, hey, 2% extra chances to set a fire, I'll take it. Alright, down here at the skill 2, you've got 3 choices, but really you've only got 2. Before it's too late, torpedo acquisition range. You're not going to be going against any fucking torpedoes at tier 1, don't even worry about it. Look at me now is not bad. Detectability sucks on this thing, so that would help you. However, remember also, its traverse speed is also like second worst at the fucking tier. So remember how I said it's 8 degrees per second? This will give you an extra 2 degrees per second. That's basically a 25% increase in speed of your turrets, which is really, really, that's a noticeable difference. You'll definitely spot the difference with that. All right, let's go down to this one, torpedo launch reload. Yeah, not going to be useful. Velocious, maximum movement speed. That could help because this is kind of a slower ship. However, I'm going to go on second thought. And I know what you're saying. Why bother with switching shell types? Well, I don't have to switch between shell types. However, this does help boost main battery reload. And look at that. If you get this thing high enough, you can drop it. I mean, right now it's already a -4, which is basically a maxed out gunslinger. But you can get this up to -5%. A lot of people overlook that. This is a very useful skill, especially just for that main battery reload. Very useful, especially if you're going to like min-max your reload time. All right, this skill, ignore it. Because tier 1 cruisers, I'll show you right now. No. First day playing a PlayStation, folks. All right, you can see your 4th skill is great out there. You just don't get them at lower tiers. So tier 1 and tier 2, you just don't get skill 4, which kind of sucks because honestly, oh, stop it. All right. Honestly, this ship could really use a little bit extra range, but we'll live. Alright, so for the legendary skill, alright, will to rebuild. You don't have a repair party. It's never going to happen. You don't even get anything good out of the special effect. Don't even pay attention to it. Alright, fully packed and unstoppable. Now, both of these are fair options, but I say unstoppable is still the better of the two. Consumable charges, ignore that completely. The only consumable you have is damage control, and you get infinite of them. +1 ain't gonna help you. +1 plus infinity is still fucking infinity. No difference there. The cooldown for all consumables, that could come in handy, especially if you kind of work with that. But the fact is I don't know, that's not bad. I mean, you look at the special effect. If you're close to an allied ship, that's basically, I mean, you get this thing up down to 25% cooldown time. I think that's 48 seconds. I could be wrong. But either way, that's fucking pitiful when you look at unstoppable. All right, so unstoppable, engine repair time minus 10 to 15%. All right, let's just say for the second that you care about that, which you probably shouldn't. That's somewhat useful, but the big thing is allows for reduced mobility with a disabled engine or rudder. This is a godsend, because if you lose your engine or rudder, you can still turn, you can still go. You're not just dead in the water. This is fantastic. On top of that, when you're close enough to an enemy ship, and by close enough we mean 7.5 kilometers, which, let's just face it, is fucking engagement, you know, is kind of engagement ranges for most tier 1 ships. Your damage control party, oh, look at that. It goes down by 50%. Last I checked, 50% is way better than 25%. Yeah, this is a no-brainer, folks. Always go with this if you have the chance. I know it's conditional, but trust me, you'll be seeing this more often than you think. All right, so for inspirations, we're going to Charles Madden. The main reason I'm looking at that for here is main battery reload time. Now, you can get, obviously I've only got that up to negative 2.7. You can get that down to negative 3% if you have this guy maxed out. And is that much? Not really, but when you add on the main battery traverse, the traverse speed. The main battery traverse speed, you can get that up to, or I should say, you can get that down to -5, which is not much, but every little bit helps. I'll put it that way. That's only going to honestly buy you 0.4 degrees per second, but it will be a noticeable difference. All right, so Francisco Mimbelli, if you're building a reload build and it's a cruiser, this is the guy. You can get this down to -5.5%, which is going to be really handy. This is the best reload guy you can put on for an inspiration. So anyways, let's tally it all up. Bing, 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 bing. What we're looking at is main battery reload. We should have that down to 5.8 seconds, best case scenario. The traverse speed, we took that from 22.5 seconds down to 17.3, best case scenario. That's a 30% drop, by the way, folks. That's pretty darn good if you ask me. All right, so fire setting chances, not super impressive, but remember how I pointed out 4 guns per salvo on a full broadside? I like to calculate your chances of setting a fire per full salvo. And that dramatically increases, because I think your raw on this is like maybe 24, maybe 25-ish. But this will get it up to 31% chance to start a fire. Per full fucking salvo, by the way. By the way, with the reload time, your damage per second per barrel goes maximum. This is best case scenario. You'll never hit it. But your maximum damage per barrel will go up to, well, I should say its baseline is 300 damage per second. This will raise it an extra 64, which isn't super impressive, but with a full salvo, that's an extra 255, and that's per second. But that's maximum. It is an improvement. It's actually a nice improvement. It may not sound like it, but it actually kind of is. The nice thing here is with boosters and all that and camouflages, this can actually really help you out. It's not going to boost any of the stuff that you currently got, but it'll round your ship off a little bit, so it'll be a little less min-maxy, but it's still going to be pretty solid. Alright, so I'm going to show this off in arcade mode. It's just easier to get into matches in arcade mode. We are going up against one actual player. He's in a Shakuma, he's a level 1, and man, he might not even be real. So we're probably going to take it easy on this guy. But the thing with the old dinger is you're going to have a lot better reload time, but also you want to play it a little bit more aggressively because you don't have good concealment. So they're going to probably spot you before you spot them, and you're going to want to make every second count. And luckily with this ship, you don't have to worry about going bow in. You can actually go full broadside. You don't have to worry about being near a teammate, so you can kind of go off and do your own thing. In fact, you know, fuck it. I'm going to go off and do my own thing. I think a few of them are going to follow me anyways. Motherfuckers. You know what? I'm going to go do my own thing over there. It doesn't matter. Either way, we'll probably run into an enemy sooner or later. Oh, dear. Oh, I forgot how long it takes to get into a fight at Tier 1. We'll get there eventually, folks. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Eventually. Someday. Maybe. I don't know. I'm tempted to just start shooting like a noob so I can get some attention here. But no, I'd rather kind of hopefully get a spot on them before they get a spot on me, which will never happen in a million fucking years. But hey, you know, a dinger can dream, right? Oh, the old dinger shanger. They used to call him the Dinger for short. Alright, in truthfulness, nobody ever called him the Dinger, but Oh, there's the Griff. All right, the Griff is a high damage per second ship. That thing is probably going to eat my breakfast if I don't take care of them pretty soon. We're on fire. All right, that Chakuma's way over there. Actually, I think that Chakuma might be the human player. So that might be something to worry about. Oh, look at, we're already dealing with damage. This ain't good, folks. The ship's on fire. The Griff is just sitting over there laughing at me. Well, who's laughing now, asshole? I got you. Oh, and here comes the Chakuma. All right, this ain't the Chakuma that's an actual player. This is a PC Chakuma, which honestly at this point could probably be a little bit better than the human player anyway. But Chakumas are no slouch. They can do a decent amount of damage. And that's kind of scary. The only thing that you got going against them is that their guns take forever to fucking reload. So you're going to get some damage per second off on them. Look at this. Look at that reload time. Oh, man. I bet this guy is just hating life right now. Well, he's a computer, so he's probably beep boop beeping over there. But it doesn't matter, he's gone anyways. That's the Albany, that is our enemy! That is Rocco! Oh, so much for your modern life, buddy. So much for your modern life, I'm gonna go full fucking broadside, and there's not a thing you can do about it, you dumb ugly mug. Actually, that Chakuma's probably gonna fuck me up because, like I said, he still does a lot of damage. He'll probably set me on fire at the very least. He's not going to citadel me, I know that fucking much. But he is a threat. There is no doubt that he is a threat. But I tell you, I'm doing shitty so far. Not a great endorsement for the old dinger here. But hey, I set him on fire. I set him on fire. How's your modern life now, Rocco? It's on fire, that's what it is. You're burning. You're burning. Where's your old turtle buddy? Where's Heifer? Oh, I think he's done. Oh, he's done. Oh, you're fucked, Rocco. I'm probably fucked now too, though, so. Alright, so let's try to take out a full health Albany. This ain't gonna fucking happen. Well, I don't know. Maybe my teammates will distract him enough. Maybe we can get off enough damage per second. Actually, you know what? I'm going to focus on Jurian here because he can do more damage. And he's lower health, and that's one less gun shooting at me, and that's always a good thing. Oh, battle ends in 5 minutes, Dinger. You better... Oh, shit, he's aiming. Oh, he's aiming at me. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. Fucked. All right, come on. Come on. Boom! Got him. Got him. The old Dinger did it in the clinch. All right, so as you can see, the Dinger's he's a pretty good choice for this ship, but he's not by far the best, and we'll get into that. All right, the next build I'm going to show you is Shaokuan. Yes, the guy from Mortal Kombat. No, he's not really. He's Chen Shaokuan. He's Korean. But you know what? Fuck it. He's Shaokuan. Put a little icon. Yeah, he's Shaokuan. Yeah. Oh, you are pathetic. You know, and all that stuff. All right. We're going to go with Shaokuan for this. Now, here's the thing about Shaokuan. When it comes to the commanders, you don't have many choices here. Of your free commanders, these are your 4 free commanders. You'll get these in crates eventually. These are both destroyer commanders. They're not very useful, trust me. Shaokuan's going to be the way you want to go, and he is arguably okay. What I'm going to focus on with Shaokuan here is basically a tanky damage build, which is okay but not the best. We'll get into that a little bit later on. So let's look at what Shaokuan's got rocking here. We've got a base trait of guerrilla warfare. This thing is completely fucking useless at tier 1, so let's just ignore it. Skill 1, oh, you got 4 skills, but one's no fly zone, so fuck that. Traverse speed, that might help. Of course, setting fires is always a good thing. But remember, the range on this thing is actually one of the worst fucking ranges in the game. Actually, I think it might be... Is it the worst range in the game? I want to say it is. I know I just said it a few minutes ago. No, second worst range in the game. The only thing that sucks more than this is the Albany. So, hey, we got that going for us. But this should help. 10% extra range. That's like having 2 of the fucking targeting mods on, or 2 of the fucking targeting upgrades on. So that's pretty good. We'll go with that. Full speed ahead. Now, if you're going to do a kiting build, by the way, if you don't know what kiting is, oh my god, it's essentially just turning a lot and trying to be hard to hit. This would be helpful for that. You could always set fires. That's always useful. Now, blind justice here. This is kind of a not completely useless. It's not full duty flavored lollipop, but it's somewhat useful because it's going to knock our detection down. That's going to help. Because I want us to essentially have a good zone of engagement with this build. A little bit more sneakier than the classic Xi'an. So, yeah, your torpedo range, you don't have torpedoes, who cares? Velocious, if you were going to do that kiting build, this would be the way to go. Back in stock, well, that would help if we had torpedoes, but we don't. No, Sponge. Sponge is going to be where we're going to want to go here because we can drop our incoming damage by 6%. Obviously, I don't have that because I'm a slacker. But you can get it up to 6% if you want to max out Shaokuan, which honestly you probably should. Shaokuan's a decent commander for any ship that isn't the Xi'an. He's still not bad, though. He's still not bad. 6% damage, like I said, this is going to be where the tankiness comes in. Skill 4, we don't have. Alright, so down here, fully packed. We went over that before. Not very useful. Refill station would be great if we were going for a reload build. Boy, I wish Dinger had this. But no, we're going to go with by the book. Now, you can drop your damage control cooldown time by 15%. And you can increase its duration by 10%, but fuck all that, who cares? The special effect is what I'm looking at. And this is essentially, if you are within range of an allied ship, 4.5, so you kind of have to stick a little bit close to the group. 20% damage reduction. That means with this on top of it, you're looking at over a quarter of the damage you're just not taking. Which is phenomenal. Basically, that's a quarter. It's going to buy you a quarter amount of time, health-wise. Which is oh, good, my segment's done. Thank you for interrupting me. Alright, so we're going to go with by the book. That is just fan-fucking-tastic if you're going for a damage reduction build. Now, Gunichi Mikawa, we're going to go with an inspiration, mainly for cruiser detectability. You can get this down to a -6, which is -6%. That's going to help. That's going to actually help by quite a bit. And on top of that, we're going to use Nikolai Kuznetsov, Nikola Russian name, for his cruiser main battery range. A lot of people swear by this guy. Yeah, if you're going to want to boost your range out, this guy's handy. And remember, this has the second worst range of any ship in the game. So now this is almost like tripling down. Except for it's not, because the best you can get him up is to a +6%. Obviously, I don't have him there. I'll work on that. It's my New Year's resolution to not suck anymore. Let's see if I can pull that off. Anyways, what this is going to do is this is going to maximize your range, while at the same time increasing your concealment. That's gonna raise your zone of engagement up to 3.5. So you gained a whole 2.5 on that, which is pretty good. 2.5 kilometers, man. That's a huge difference. Your concealment now should be down to what should your concealment be? I can't even find it. That's how good I am. No, it's I can't find the concealment. It's well hidden. No, it's going to be 7.8 kilometers, which is a vast improvement over 8.7. So we got that going for us. But here's the thing. And if you're crafty about this, you take a build like this. Maybe you throw this on. Oh, that's going to improve your main battery range by 3%. Ho ho ho! Let's do that. And that'll help boost that a little bit. So anyways, yeah, that's going to be my second recommendation. It's Shaokuan. The old Shaokuan tanky defense. Let's see how this goes. Alright, once again we're in an arcade match. Looks like we've only got one enemy again. Which is kind of the norm for, oh, it's another, like, might be a real player, might not be a real player. We don't even know. Oh, they don't have a commander. That's what it is. Alright, so this is a total fucking green noob. Alright, generally, I don't like to really pick on the noobs too much. In fact, generally, I will give them a lot of grace. Remember, by the way, you're going to want to stick with your team on this one. So I'm gonna fall back just a little bit, because I want to be with my team. Also, I do want to show full broadside because I ain't scared. I'm Shaokuan, motherfucker. That was pathetic. You suck. And other catchphrases that Shaokuan has. Like, oh, yeah. That's one of his catchphrases. That's one of his catchphrases for me, anyways. If you know, you know. Alright, so the team looks like they're all going for B. By the way, the team is all computer, so it's not like they're, actually, they might be more handier than your average blue team, truth be told. They're not very good, but they're also not, like, eating paint chips and just driving in circles. Fuck, Weymouth. Alright, Weymouth is going to be our priority number one. That thing can hurt me. In fact, I'm not going to go full broadside with a fucking Weymouth. Who do we got there? That's Chikuma. That's Computer Chikuma. I'm going to fuck him up. Now, if it was the player, I would probably play a little bit more defensively and not actually go on the offensive on him so much. Mainly because I like to give them at least somewhat of a chance. Because I'm not a total dick, folks. Honestly, it's a good way to help them hopefully get some XP, because when you're first starting off, XP is very helpful. Gets you to that tier 2 ship, and then you can put tier 1 behind you, and you don't have to worry about jerks like me beating you up. Alright, where are you? There's the Weymouth. Alright, I'm going to focus on the Weymouth now, because that thing, he ain't targeting me now, but he could, and if he does, I'm not going to like it. Remember, I said, folks, the Weymouth is the only thing that can penetrate that armor belt on your side. So he can potentially Citadel me. Which I definitely don't fucking want. But hey, the good news is he's playing about as good as a human player, so we got that going for it. He should be on the blue team, I tell ya. Got the kill! Stole the kill from the computer. Oh, that was pathetic.
Enemy cruiser founder.
Alright, the Navik. And the Xi'an. And there's the human player back there. T-Pekka. Topeka or whatever his name is. I don't know. If you're out there, if you're just starting off, I'll go easy on you. Don't worry. I won't just beat you up automatically. Hey, get a kill or two. That'll help you. You know what? I'll even be a real nice guy. I will leave the cap. I'll let you get it. I'll let you get it, pal. I'm that much of a swell fellow. Me, Shaokuan over here. Let it never be said that Shaokuan is not a fair, cruel, or stern but fair. Stern but fair. We'll go with that. He's a stern but fair dictator of Outworld. Oh! Oh, no, didn't want it. Yeah, okay. Shot over the bow. Sorry, pal. Jeez, oh, Pete's Topeka. You need to... Yeah, okay. Oh, the computer stole my kill. I'm not going to get the Kraken. That's it. It's war. The blue team is even your mortal enemy when they're played by the computer. They're not as terrible, but they'll still steal your kills, the motherfuckers. What are you shooting? You motherfucker. All right, well, you know what? You shot at me. I gave you some chances for some free kills. But, you know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I should just hand your candy ass Rudy 2 to you. Stole my fucking kill again, motherfucker. Goddamn computer. Ah. Ah. That's what I have to say. That was pathetic. You suck. Topeka, I don't think you're gonna make it, bud. He didn't get one kill. I actually feel bad for this poor bastard. I'll still take the kill, though. No, you dirty bastard! Stole my kill again. Sons of bitches, the computer's worse than any human player I've ever worked with. Anyways, that was the Shaokuan defensive build. As you can see, we didn't take much damage, but nah, it's not like we were getting fired at a whole lot. Alright, now it's time for the build we've all been waiting for. This is probably the best build you can possibly put on the Xian, in my opinion. But, like I said, there is no exact winning strategy. It's just whatever works best for you. Alright, so we're going to go with kind of a more well-rounded build this time. And for that one, we're using Tits McGee. I mean, AL Harbin. Boobs. Anyways, if you don't have AL Harbin, should probably get her. Honestly, this is a damn good commander if you're going to be using your pan-Chinese cruisers. This is a damn good commander to have. Her base trait, chances of HE shells and bombs causing fires, and torpedo flooding chances. I don't care about torpedo flooding. I don't have torpedoes. However, if I had her maxed out and not like a 1.3 buff, this would be a plus 2%. And that is going to... I'll show you why that's a good thing. Alright, so for skill 1, torpedo speed, useless. No fly zone, useless. Beyond range, yeah, 10% range, yeah. Let's double up that. Upgrade. Igniter for skill 2. Now you could take Look at Me Now to improve your concealment, which would be handy. You could, of course, improve your torpedo range. That would be a smart move. But we're going to go with Igniter, mainly because that's going to be a plus 3. So already with this and this, we're up to a plus 5. Now, normally to get a plus 5% fire chance, you're going to need Burn It Down XXL up here. But that is the beauty of AL Harbin. You get this plus this, and now you can also take this, which is great. It's basically like almost having like a free little skill. So yeah, highly recommend that. We got that up to a theoretical plus 5% if I didn't suck so bad and have such lame-ass commanders. Alright, so Velocius would be handy if you were going for a fast build. I'm going for a tanky build because good armor. Well, good armor belt, I should say. Sucky armor, good armor belt. But yeah, we're going to, again, go with this. Again, you could get it up to a plus 6%. And I know we don't have the skill this time. Well, yeah, skill 4, don't worry about it. You can't use it anyway. All right, we don't have by the book this time. That sucks. Can't get this up to 25%. However, don't you worry. We'll get there. All right, so let's go. Refill station or fully packed. I want to go with a little bit of a damage build this time, while at the same time being a little bit tanky. Cooldown time for all consumables if you're hanging out next to your bros, nah, not worth it. Let's go with the refill station. I will definitely take 10% reload time any day of the week. And not to mention, if you're hanging out near another ship, you get an extra 10%. Boom! That's three fucking targeting upgrades, essentially, is what you're looking at here. Plus 30% to our range. Sign me fucking up. You just gotta hang around your buddies again. Which, yeah, you kind of had to do it the other way anyways. It's not that bad. Just kind of hang around your team and you'll do fine. Alright, so inspirationals, we're going with Luigi Sansonetti. Incoming damage for cruisers, negative 4.5. Of course, that's where I have them because I stink. But you can get this down to negative 6. So, boom, negative 6, negative 6 from Sponge. That's negative 12. Alright, it's not quite 25, but it's halfway there. Alright, it's a little under halfway there, but we're just about halfway there. Living on a prayer and such. Alright, Pascal Severa y Topite. Let's just call him Tupite. Anyways, old Pistol Pete here. He's got the Enduring Spirit, which is incoming damage from shells, torpedoes, and bombs to your cruiser per 1 HP lost. Oh man! All right, expect them to nerf this sometime in the future because a lot of people are really taking advantage of this right now, and some people are hating it. But hey, you know what? When in wargaming, you know. All right, so obviously I've got it down to for every 1% of HP I lose, I gain damage resistance of 0.15%. Now you can get this up to 0.2, and at 0.2, on top of having, all right, so at 0.2, let's just ignore Sansonetti, let's ignore Sponge. All right, so at 100% health, no reduction in damage. Whoop-de-ding. Once you're down halfway, you're looking at 10% reduction in damage. That's not bad. That's not bad. And when you take into consideration that you have Sansonetti and Sponge, that's going to be 22% damage, less damage that you're taking. Now you get that down to a quarter health, which, let's face it, you probably make it to a quarter health, especially if you're playing as shit as I do. And if you get that, boom, that's an extra 5%. That'll get you down to negative 27%. That's even better than our previous tankier build. And we get the extra range. And we get to set extra fires. And I'm certain there's another and in there. Let me look. No, that's it. Still, though, really good. Really fucking good. This is the way to go, folks. I swear, you know, this, if you don't do this, you go to hell before you die. But let's look at what this is going to change stat-wise. Our fire setting chances are going to go from 7% to 12%. And per salvo, that's going to be 40%. 2 out of 5 times, you're going to set a fire with a full fucking salvo. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Of course, you're not going to see a whole lot of improvement in your damage per second, but you are getting reload boost, a little bit faster reload speed, and that's going to drop your reload down to... What is it going to drop it down to? I know it's going to drop it down something. Well, it'll drop it down 10% anyways, which is good. I'll take that all day long. But anyways, your zone of engagement isn't as good as the last one, but oh my goodness, are you going to be tough to kill once you get lower in health. This is a darn good build if you ask me. And on top of that, like I said, you throw on that battle booster, you're getting extra 3% range, extra 3% movement, who cares? But you throw on a camouflage. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Plus 4.5 degrees incoming, or degrees. 4.5% incoming fire dispersion. Not bad. Not to mention, your detectability goes down a little bit. You're even sneakier. Let's look at my stat. Oh, and look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. No, 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 not that. Oh, I don't want Santa City. By the way, look how many tokens I've gotten. Oh, ho, ho, that's a lot of tokens. Took me forever to fucking grind it, but I got it. All right, so let's see. Oh, look at this. Oh, and it resorted me. Oh, it returned me back to Santa Village, you bastard. All right. Anyway, beautiful camo. Let's look at the stats. What are we looking at? Boom, our firing range is up to 11. Ain't that a thing of fucking beauty? That is darn good range. Our reload down time, we dropped 0.4 seconds. Not the end of the world, but definitely better than a stick in the eye. Fire percent chance, like I said, I don't have this commander maxed. This should be plus 12 if I knew what I was doing, but obviously I'm slacking. Our maximum speed, yeah, still can't catch the fucking Birmingham, but hey, we're getting a little bit closer there, Timu Chester. And our detectability range is down finally to above average, or I should say below average, which would be a good thing. Unless anyone else is a human player, then they probably have better concealment than us. But still, not bad. Let's see how she does. All right, so what are we looking at as far as human player? All right, hey, this guy's actually got a commander. It's a tier. It's like a level 1 commander though. So again, we're dealing with another noob. Probably not a good stress test for this ship, but yeah, we'll live with it. Oh yeah, that's the other good thing about playing as Tits McGee here. You get to hear jibber jabber jibber jabber. I don't speak Japanese. I'm assuming she's saying all good things. Probably stuff along the lines of "that was pathetic" and "round 2 fight." She's not quite Shaokuan, but she's sort of Shaokuan. I'm going to pretend she's Shaokuan. We're going to let the enemy go a little bit ahead so they can spot for us. That way we get the element of surprise. That and it'll take forever for them to get there. That's always nice. Actually, do we have any Waymouse? No! No Waymouse. Okay, well, we're in luck, folks. Oh, we've been spotted. I don't care, though. I'm going full broadside. Meh, meh, meh. That's what I have to say. I'm going to shoot all my cannons at you, Xi'an. Actually, you know, I'm going to shoot at the Shakuma. That guy's a little bit more dangerous. That's a fucking Xi'an. That thing's probably a joke if I've ever seen one. Oh, that's the human player. My bad, human player. I'll leave you be. I'll leave you be. That's just me being a jerk is what that is. I'm a mean old big jerk with the big old anime boobs. You probably shouldn't like me. I know I don't. I'll attack the Griff here. He's not even a cruiser. He's a mine layer. Go fucking lay mines, you dumb Griff. Fucking Polak brings a fucking mine layer to a fucking cruiser match, I tell ya. I'm not kidding, by the way, folks. That is a Polish mine layer. That is definitely not a cruiser by any means. By any stretch of the imagination, that is not a cruiser. Oh, I got the kill. Xi'an, Dresden. All right, Dresden's probably a little bit of a threat. I will probably focus on the Dresden next. Very high damage per second. I'll put it that way. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I could use the damage. Look at this. I'm not even down halfway yet. How am I supposed to show off how tanky this thing if no one is shooting at me? Hey, most of my team is dead. They probably won't be able to steal my kills now. Alright, well, sorry, Chikuma. You have engaged me. I regret to inform you that you must die now. I'm sorry, human player. I was hoping that you would... Hey, you got a solo cap. That's going to be some good XP right there. You died honorably. And, you know, you were taken out by, Azur Lane Big Boobs Harbin. That's always nice. It's a little bit of icing on the cake. Oh, Xian, you're on fire. I'm on fire too, actually. Ugh. And I'm on fire, and I can't put myself out. Alright, we got that griff back there. If I don't watch it, the fucking computer is gonna steal my kills again, and I can't have that. Oh no! Well, on the plus side, we're down below a quarter health, which you know what that means. We're over 26% damage reduction. Oh, Dresden, you're going down. Bet you weren't counting on tits, were ya? Come around from that island and boom, big old boobs right in your face and a whole bunch of fire too. All right. Last one. Oh, you better not steal my kill, you motherfucker. You cocksucker, you stole the Kraken from me. God, I hate the computer. I should have, yeah, I wish. All right, anyway, 4 kills. Obviously, a very good build. The best build you could ever use with the ship. I will fight anyone in the streets who says otherwise. But anyways, this is how you dominate with the Xian. And let's face it, you're going to need every little bit of help that you can. Because the Xian is not that good. Not that good. But if you... God, let's get rid of... All right, let's go to the menu. I don't like the Santa City menu. In fact, I'll be so fucking happy when this update is over and I can get rid of that Santa City gubbins in my way all the fucking time, because let's face it, it takes up most of the fucking screen. Oh, look at that! It's boom! It's a background that actually kind of works with the ship. All right, so that's the Xian, folks. This is what we were working with. This is not the best ship, but you can make it halfway competent if you really, really want to. I don't know why you would, but hey, you know, to each their own. I like to play these ships, and I imagine there's probably a few other people. Believe it or not, folks, I do come across a lot of high-level players every now and then when I'm playing Tier 1 matches. So I'm not the only one that lurks around here and hazes the freshman, if you will. Anyways, that was part 1 of our series of your guide to Tier 1, how to basically top from the bottom. Up next we'll have, well, I don't know, you just have to tune in next month and find out. If you're gonna whale, whale hard, am I right? Well, whale smart, not hard. That's what I always say. So, here's the thing about me. I whale pretty fucking hard. But I also whale pretty fucking smart in this game. I have built a fleet of over 500 ships in 2 years. I didn't do it by not spending any money. I'll put it that way, folks. Although, in my defense, I was very frugal about the way I did it, and I thought things out ahead of time, And I'm going to show you a few tips on how to make the most bang for your buck if you are going to whale in this game, or, you know, basically picking your level of what are you willing to invest, what are you going to get on that investment in return. I mean, fake ships, obviously. Let's face it, those are worth a lot. But if you're going to whale, whale smart, not hard. Alright, so on the screen here you see Azer Lane, the Azer Lane 7 crate, the drop rates. I will probably superimpose this on the screen because here's the thing. If you're going to whale and if you're not going to be a complete fucking idiot about it, you're going to want to do, you're going to want to make a spreadsheet. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh, look at all those numbers. What do they all mean? I don't even know what half of them mean, folk. I just kind of put this together. It took me about half an hour. But this is how I consider what I'm going to look at. I mean, granted, I had to do a little bit of prognostication on this. Because obviously the price of the crate isn't out. The sales aren't out, you know, and stuff like that. But I can use what I know from previous Azer Lane releases to kind of do this. And this doesn't have to be for Azer Lane. You can do this for really anything that comes out. Generally on day one of an update, I actually spend most of, I would say at least a few hours just going through everything in the store, everything that's in that update, and figuring out what's the worst case scenario that this might cost me, and what's the best way to get what I want. Without spending, you know, that much fucking money. Because let's face it, this shit is way fucking overpriced. Hey, if you're playing World of Warships, yeah, I mean, you're probably going to have to spend money at some time, folks, if you want to be competitive. I would say that this is a rich man's game, but I mean, honestly, you can play it on the cheap. I know I did for years. But now I don't. But at least I'm not a complete idiot with the way I spend my money, and I'll show you why. Alright, so what I've got here is... Alright, so this is just an example for the Azer Lane update. Here are the 4 ships. This is probably what they're going to cost in the store. 17,500 is generally what a tier 7 will cost you. 12.5 thousand is what a tier 6, and all your tier 8s always cost 25,000 doubloons. By the way, if you're trying to figure out an exchange rate, by the way, this is all going to be in American money because I'm American. If you're not American, I don't know. Do your own math. I don't know. These numbers might not even match up for you over there. I don't know what you're doing. I'm just giving you a good example. If you're in the U.S., this might help. Anyways, the rule of thumb generally, the exchange rate of doubloons to dollars is 25,000 should equal $100. That's rough. That's a rough estimate. Now, granted, also bear in mind that I never pay that much for doubloons, because if I buy doubloons, the best way to buy doubloons, honestly, is it's the $150 for 4,700 doubloons. I forget what the exact exchange rate is, but it's a significant discount. Not a ton, but a reasonable discount for wargaming. I'll put it that way. Anyways, so this is the price that all the ships will probably cost. This is what the commanders will probably cost. They generally cost 5,000 a piece. That's essentially that's $20. $20 per commander. And then you got the Yale, Massachusetts skin. That'll also cost $20. I can guarantee that these will be the prices. They almost always are. You're probably not going to see them on sale. And honestly, Ale Agir might not even be available in the store. I don't know. I imagine it will be, but it might not be because it is part of the crate drop. guarantee system, and that might mean that they really want you to spend that 50 crates. Anyway, this is what I always do. This is how many doubloons all this is going to cost. And equivalently, it's going to be $410. That's a lot for 5 fake-ass ships and fake-ass commanders. Oh, I should say 4 fake-ass ships, 1 fake-ass skin, and 5 fake-ass commanders with big fake boobs. Alright, they might be, you know, actually, no, they are fake. They're fucking anime boobs. You know they're not real. They're not, it's anime, folks. Alright, so that's going to be how much those will cost. Now, it's going to take you 50 crates. Alright, so now if you go into here, it does have a guarantee system. If you haven't received AL Agir from the last 49 crates, the next Azur Lane crate you open will guarantee you to receive AL Agir. This is very chintzy. This is essentially them making this a guaranteed thing, and the rest of these good fucking luck. Because 2% chance, not that great. 3% chance, really not that, also still not that great. You got a decent chance of getting the commanders, but the ships, you don't have the best shots. We're going to go over that, though. Alright, so $410 worth of stuff. You're going to have to spend at least... Alright, so generally they almost always have 25 crates. I'm assuming right now they'll be going for 1,000 credits, or 1,000 doubloons per crate. That seems to be the standard. If they knock them up to 1250, that's going to throw all these numbers off. So just keep that in mind. But anyways, generally they'll give you the first 25 for a 10% discount. That's basically $90 for your first 25 crates. If you want to complete that 50, you can generally get them, well actually this is just the flat rate. You'll be paying another $100. So $190 to guarantee that you're going to get the AL Agir. And bear in mind, the AL Agir is a $100 ship. So you're going to be spending about twice that. But you're going to have a shot at getting some of the commanders. Is that worth it to you? I don't know. Here's another thing to consider. In the September update, almost always, they bring back Azur Lane, and they put usually all these things into bundles, usually at a discount. And generally, I'm going to say it's probably going to be at least a 30% discount if you want to buy the whole bundle. That means in September, if you just want to wait till September, so 9 months down the road or 8 months down the road, you can probably pick these up for $287 right out the door. There's a big asterisk next to that, and I will go over that in just a second because this can really burn you in the ass. Because you're going to pay this price no matter what. Whether you have some of those ships, whether you have some of those commanders, you're going to get them again. Because this is what you're paying. You'll get reimbursed in credits, but it's like kissing your sister. Either way, you're going to be spending probably 71 to 72,000 doubloons. Roughly, you can just count that you'll probably get it for about $100 cheaper if you wait the time. But again, if you get any of this stuff ahead of time, you're just paying for stuff that you already own. Believe me, this burned me really bad because I didn't have Azur Lane Aurora. And that was the only ship out of that bundle I didn't have. Essentially, I had to pay well over $100. I think it was $200 to get one Tier 2 ship. Really not fucking worth it. Really not fucking worth it. So, this can bite you in the ass. So, generally, I wouldn't recommend this strategy. But it can... let's see how the odds play out. I'll put it that way. Alright, so for over here, what I've got is... Alright, so if you buy 25 crates, This is the chance that you're going to get either any of these ships, this skin, or these commanders. Oh wait, no, this skin, this is the skin, this is the commander. Alright, so if you buy 25 crates, 92% chance you're probably going to get the Massachusetts. The Massachusetts, the Z24, the Adjir, the Talene, basically any of the commanders, 92% chance you're going to get one of them. 90% chance you might get the skin, but as you can see, you've only got like maybe a little bit over 20% chance. That's a 1 in 5. That's not terrible of getting the AL Adjir. But as you can see, your odds aren't super great. And the way I calculate this, by the way, folks, is essentially you take your odds of not getting it, you raise it to the power of basically how many crates you're getting, and then you subtract that from 1. That'll tell you basically your chances of getting it over that many attempts. Now, your chances of getting all of this stuff from 25 crates is 1.16%. That's fucking terrible fucking odds. And you're spending $90 for this. Essentially, you're paying like a quarter of what you would pay for this to maybe get a 1% chance of getting everything. Not very good. However, you also have to consider all the other bullshit that you'll probably get. Because even if you get all these, you're going to at least get 15 other items. And odds are 4 of those are going to be the 1.7 million credits. 3 of them are going to be the Siren camos, which are fucking useless in my opinion. GXP, which depending on what you need might be useful to you. Promotion orders, as you can see, I need those. Commendations, those are nice. Odds are you're not going to get any of the insignia or commendations out of this bunch. Out of 25, it's just, the odds aren't in your favor. You might get them. Fuck, you might get nothing but commendations for all you know. And that's the other thing about this. Alright, so you got a 92% chance of getting, Z24, the commander. Honestly, you are never going to get a 100% chance to get that commander. Even though you'll see it over here, there are percentages there as well. Because you got to remember, these aren't guaranteed. You could buy 1 million crates and never get them. It just depends on luck of the draw. But this is a good way of guessing probably your percent chance. So 25 crates, 1.16% chance you're going to get all of them, but you're only paying a little under quarter of the price. Now, if you go 50%, or if you go 50 crates, that's the $190. These are your odds. 100% you're going to get AL Adjir. It's a guarantee. At 50 crates, you're going to get it. That takes it right out of the running. Now, as far as the other ships, you can see that their odds go up a bit, but not super great. Now, also you'll notice your commanders went up to 99.5% almost, and 99.1% for your skin for the AL Massachusetts. Those are improvements, but again, it's not a guarantee. So take this with a grain of salt. Honestly, anytime you're dealing with chance, take it with a grain of salt. Like I said, luck could just be working against you. So odds are you're going to get, if you get all of it, alright, so your odds of getting everything from 50 crates, 30%, 30.5%, basically less than a third of a chance of getting everything out of 50 crates. So if you're planning on spending 190 and getting all this stuff, you're probably not going to get it. You might get a third of it. Actually, you might get a good portion of it. Who knows? It's chance. But alternative items wise, alright, so this is why I'm doing this with the alternative items. This is how many you'll get. This is their value in doubloons. And this is probably how much you will get extra out of this. So remember that first one where we spent 90, 1% chance to maybe get all the stuff. But we'll probably get all this extra bullshit instead. if you break that down to a equivalent value, that's $73 worth of stuff. Odds are, for the Azure Lane stuff, you might get $5 worth of stuff. But when you compare that against the 90 that you spent, you lost 11 bucks. Or you lost 12 bucks on the deal. Not a good way to spend your money. Not a good way. Now you'll see as we spend more, you will get a better chance at return on investment. It depends on whether you actually value this stuff for what it's valued at in the game, which it is not that value. It's digital. It's worth nothing. It's essentially vaporware. But here we go. 30% chance, 190, you'll get, let's see here, $251 worth of gubbins. Theoretically, you're going to pull $125 worth of stuff, and I don't think that's counting the AL Azure, which is $100 on its own. So your crate cost was 190. You'll clear 180 on this. Theoretically. You might just get nothing but fucking credits, and that would suck because that would not be worth your time. Because I hate that they put credits in crates. I can get credits all day long just by playing the fucking game. Camos are actually somewhat more useful than that, but GXP you can get from in the game, although it is nice to get it because you can use it for stuff, but I mean still, getting credits is like kissing your sister. It's not very useful. Alright, so now we bump that up to an extra 25 crates. Alright, now you can see our chances of getting this stuff are vastly improving. 78% chance of getting the 2 tier 7s. Our tier 6, we're getting like almost a 1 in 10 shot of getting it. 99.9%, it's practically almost 100 at this point. You're almost guaranteed. Almost, like I said, you could buy 1 million crates and get nothing. You could get nothing but fucking siren camo. Believe me, it's possible. But your odds of getting everything out of those 75 crates, about 50-50. And at this point, you've spent $290. That's 3/4 of the way to what you would have paid retail. So, again, do you want to play the odds? It's 50-50 shot. You could spend $300. And also bear in mind, if you just wait till September, this is probably about what you'd be paying for all of them anyway. So also take that into consideration. Now the good news is, if you're counting this stuff as valuable, the extra bullshit that you'll get, you're going to get like 388 worth of it. Theoretically, you're going to get 223 value. By the way I figured this out is essentially the whole value of everything times this number. It's not perfect. It's kind of a down and dirty, but it's kind of in the ballpark. Theoretically, you might get that much. Honestly, theoretically, if you don't get that much, you're going to get more of this. But that, again, this is all theoretical stuff. All right, so your estimated balance at this point, you've made $320 worth of gubbins. Bear in mind, it's gubbins. Widgets. NFTs, if you will. They're worth nothing. But you'll come out ahead, bang for your buck, I guess, is my point. Now, if you go to 100 crates, now we're getting into crazy fucking territory. We're up to $390. That's a lot of fucking money. But as you can see, your odds of getting these are almost, they're 100%, but that's mostly due to rounding. Trust me, this is not a 100% chance you're going to get these. It's just really fucking likely. Your chances of getting these, significantly better now. Not guaranteed, but significantly better. 71% chance that you will get all the ships and commanders and skins from 100 crates. But at this point, you're paying almost retail. So not the best. On the other hand, you're going to get, let's see, $516 worth of bric-a-brac. You'll probably get $300 worth of the Azure Lane stuff. $420 a head. That's what you're looking at. Like I said, your bang for your buck here, which is what I should just call this row here, is going up the more you're spending. Now, if you're going to just say, I'm just going to pay what I would pay retail in crates, you'd have to buy 105 crates. That'd buy you 105 crates. By the way, I would highly recommend, if you're just going to get the AL Legere, or else if you've got everything and the one last thing you're going for is the AL Legere, buy one crate at a time. It'll take forever, but it's cost effective, because why spend money on extra? Why buy 25 crates if you get it in crate number 20, in crate number 1 of that 25? That's kind of the way I look at it. So take the time, be a little frugal with the way that you buy it. You're not going to get a bonus for buying them in bulk, so consider that. Now, if you buy 105 crates, essentially if you would have bought retail, 74% chance that you're going to get all these things. That is horrible. That is fucking abysmal, especially when you consider that if you spent that amount of money over here, that's a 100% chance you'd get it all. On the other hand, you wouldn't get all this extra worthless bullshit. Which is a significant amount. You're talking over $500 worth of, cars and prizes. Your theoretical value at this point is up to $300, so you'll probably clear $400 worth of stuff. But bear in mind, you're spending pretty much that already. It's not that great. Now, what I've got over here is kind of your optimized thing. Essentially, this is, I forget why I did the 29. Why did I do 29? Oh, I remember. All right, so this will be your break even. All right, so remember when I said your bang for your buck is going to go into negative territory if you only buy 25 crates? You buy 4 more crates, theoretically, for starters, your chances of getting all these ships doubles. That's hard to fucking believe, but it actually does double up to 2%. I don't know how, but it is weird how the curve of probability works. So you'll double your chances at getting all of them. Granted, it's a 2% chance, so not very fucking good. But you'll be spending $106. You will be making 103% or 103 dollars worth of you'll be winning prizes. Yeah, you'll be getting basically $103 worth of bric-a-brac. Your theoretical AL, basically what you're getting out of this stuff might be $10. In other words, you might get 2 of the commanders, you might get a commander and a skin. The odds aren't really good that you'll get a ship, but in theoretical value, you will break even. You'll actually cross that threshold where you're not losing value or bang for your buck, you're actually gaining it. I'd say 29 is a safe assumption if you feel like taking your chances and spending that much and at least wanting to break even. However, if you want a really good shot at getting all this, the number I came up with that would almost guarantee at least all your stuff would have a 90% chance of getting this stuff. Essentially, you've got a 90% chance of getting all 10 items if you buy $250 worth of crates, or essentially $990 worth of crates. This isn't what I would do by any stretch of the fucking imagination. This would be a horrible fucking way to do it. But theoretically, 9 in 10 chances you're going to get it all, and you're going to get this much garbage, and that should put you on the plus side. You'll get at least almost $750 bang for your buck. Not bad. Again, this is kind of like a best case scenario to at least drive this number up to a 90% chance you'll pull it off. I didn't even bother with trying to do a 99% chance because it'd be an infeasible amount of fucking crates. Normally I would say that's why this guarantee system kind of blows, folks, because generally if you buy... In the way they've done this in the past, if you buy like 149 crates, that's pretty much a guarantee based on the tiers. You'll probably just get everything that you want out of the crates. This time, no, it's brutal because your odds of getting everything out of these crates fucking blow. I really hate to say it, it might be the better option to just buy the crates outright. Or I should say, just buy the ships outright. Now, bear in mind, you might get some stuff out of this if you buy those crates. I mean, hey, there is a 50% chance that you'll get the AL Talene if you buy 25 crates, and that's only $90. That's not a bad investment. But also bear in mind that the AL Talon is, well, let's just see how much that's worth. Because that would be a $50 value. So not a good investment. And that's a 50% chance you'll get it. I'm not going to tell you how to do this. I'm just telling you that this is a good tool for trying to figure out what you're willing to spend and what you're not willing to spend. And honestly, this wave, it's really a tough call. The odds of getting everything are not good. The guarantee system is only for one ship, so I guess if you're really after that AL Agir, you can pick it up for twice what you'd probably pay outright in the store. But like I said, it might not be available in the store, and honestly, that might be your only option. In fact, given that they put it on the guarantee system, that might be your only option. So you might be looking at the AL Agir is a $190 ship, as opposed to its $100 equivalent value. Not that good, but you got a 30% chance of getting the rest of it along the way. Besides, who knows? Maybe crate number 1 will get you the AL Agir. It could. It's theoretically possible. You got a 1% chance of it happening, but it's a 1% chance. Maybe that first 25 crates will get you everything that you want. There's a 1% chance that you could save yourself $300. Not the best of odds. Honestly, this is a tough one because I like to consider myself a pretty hard whale. But man, if I'm going to whale smart on this, I really hate to say it, it might just be cheaper to buy it all outright. The 410 might be your cheapest option. Honestly, the best option might just be just wait fucking 8 months and buy it for $290, which is still highway fucking robbery. But still, it's a guarantee. You're going to get 100. Honestly, if you buy crates, you jeopardize ruining your bang for your buck on this. So it's not a good. This is a really tough one, folks. I wouldn't recommend gambling with the crates this time because your odds aren't very good. Your bang for your buck is you got to buy at least 29 crates for your bang for your buck to even show a profit. This is it's not very good. I'm not going to be one of those doomsayers that says, wargaming, they're greedy, they're going to rip us all off. Yeah, that's their business model. I don't, first time? Did you just install the game yesterday? Yes, that is wargaming. That's what they do. I'm just saying that this isn't a good deal. 410 if you want everything. Unless you're going to be dealing with the guarantee rate drop to get the AL Agir, which I wouldn't put past them. In that case, knock $100 off of that. Well, actually, that would knock $100 off of this. So $310 for everything but that. And then you're going to pay an extra $90 on top of that. Or an extra $190 on top of it. So $500 would probably guarantee you everything this update if you had to do that. If they put the Algier behind the crate wall, if you will. So, ugh. Do you want it all? $500 will guarantee it. I wouldn't do it if I were you. But hey, honestly, the other way to look at this is you'll probably pick some of the stuff up from here. And trust me, you start picking up these little commanders and these skins at like roughly a 90% chance in your 20 crates. Honestly, you've got a decent chance of getting a lot of them with the 50 crates. Remember, that's $20 a pop. That's going to knock off the end retail price. I don't know. It's your call. But this is what I do to try to figure out how I'm going to spend my money and spend it wisely. I want these ships. Of course I want all these ships. I'm a collector. I love them. I got to catch them all, you know, like Pokemon. But you don't want to put yourself in the poorhouse to do it. So I would say if you really want to do this stuff, if you're really serious about getting a lot of the stuff in the game, this is a way to do it, folks. Spreadsheets and math. It's what I would recommend. Well, smart, not hard. That's what I say. Gather around, noobs, it's story time. I'm going to tell you how fucking World of Warships Legends was back in my day. Now, I know I've said in the past that, you know, my account is only a couple years old, but that is my second account. My first account was an Xbox account, but I switched over to PlayStation, so last 2 years have been on PlayStation. I still technically have my Xbox account, but I'll put it this way. This is, we're going to go over the release patch notes from the very first, basically a look back on what the game was like at launch. I was there on launch day. Launch day. I was there when I had the game from launch, which was a lot of fun. I played the PC version. I hated the PC version. When they said they were putting it on console, I was super excited. I didn't get in on the alpha or beta testing. I wish I would have, because there were a few ships I could have gotten. We'll go into that in a minute. But essentially, this is going to be just a little trip down memory lane, if you will. So these are the patch notes from basically the release of the game. Now, I should mention that this is on Reddit. And I would not recommend going to Reddit for all the fucking tea in Tea-land, or all the China in Brazil, or anything. I would just straight up not recommend it. The Reddit page on this is pure fucking cancer, and all the mods have the tiniest dicks known to man. Possibly in verse somehow. I don't even know how that's possible, but possibly in verse. And if you're a Reddit mod, I don't know, go fuck yourself. I fucking hate you. Moving on. Don't go to the Reddit board. It sucks. About the only reason to ever go to the fucking Reddit board for this game is essentially stuff like this, the patch notes. Or maybe to get a little bit of inside info that gets dropped. Or basically it's a good way to get codes when they drop. Generally the codes don't get you much though, so it's really not worth the hassle. I would not interact with these people. They are the thinnest skin fucking micro losers you've ever fucking met in your life. If you're one of them, you probably know what I'm talking about. You probably hate me, but hey, the feeling's mutual. Anyways, I'm off topic. Let's go to the patch notes for the release. Alright, so they're very happy. They're releasing the game. Commander's first big issue. Battle Inspiration, that means your commanders now have 3 base traits. Ooh! Due to this system. All right, so essentially those, well, let's take a beginning. All right, so essentially they added inspirations. Whoop-de-ding. So yes, inspirations were kind of there since day one. The second slot becomes available at rank 11. Yeah, so it's exactly as it is now. You get your first inspiration at 7. You get your second one at 11. Both these are promotion ranks, inspired blah, 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 blah. Will inspire significantly stronger than rank 1. Yeah, okay, so it's exactly the way it is now. There is no limit to how many commanders they can be inspirations for. That's kind of nice. There's no difference between... All right, so essentially they introduced inspirations for the commanders. Not that super impressive, but hey, it was day one. This was mind-blowing on day one. As the heading suggests, legendary ranks. Ranks have been removed from now. Fear not, they will reappear soon. All right, so they had legendary ranks, and then they removed them. But then they brought them back. So, huzzah. That's kind of cool. Will allow for level 3 skills. Tier 3 and higher will get level 4 skills. Exactly the way it is now. New commanders. Alright, we're finally populating the available nominal rosters. Here's a list of archetype nomenclature. Jack of all trades, DD Assassin, DD Subjugator, DD Vexer. Alright, so essentially these are... Alright, so these are the categories that your commanders fell into. It's funny because these never really stuck. You got your Brawler, you got your Ranger, which should be Sniper, really, in my opinion. Essentially, this is Sims, this is Willisley. That's just what it is. This is just terminology for in stuff. Here are the commanders they dropped. Oh, bear in mind also, only 3 nations on launch. Oh, no, I take that back. I forgot. You had technically 5 nations. I forgot about that. But these ones you were only going to get with premium ships. And this one itself was, oh man, that was going to cost you. That was going to cost you a lot. We'll get into that in a minute. Alright, so new skills. They have new skills in the game. They're not going to go into that, so we're not going to go over it. Alright, new battle locations. These are apparently the maps that they added. Balance changes. Oh, look, the Vanguard got a buff. Go figure. The Gremyashi, of course, got a nerf, which kind of makes sense because the Gremyashi, I hear, was pretty busted at first. Orion got kind of a boof. A boof? Yes, it got the beef. The Iron Duke also got a bit of a buff. Essentially, it seems like a lot of their British battleships are kind of hot garbage, so they had to fix them a bit. Tier 1 ships can no longer be sold. Wow, this is crazy. I can't believe at one point they allowed you to sell your Tier 1 ships. That's why, I mean, I guess it's not that big of a deal because you just buy them back. You're not going to get much silver out of it, so I think it's kind of pointless. Secondary armament turned off for all Tier 1 ships. This kind of sucks, because apparently they had secondary armament on the Tier 1s back in the testing phase. And I don't know, I think that would have been cool. I wish they'd bring them back. Because, yeah, I get it. It's, oh, yeah, this might confuse other players. They're automatically firing. What's gonna... Oh my god, you'd have to be so fucking simple to be confused by this shit. Anyway, when looking into credits and balloons, you can now see your gains from playing the game from the shop at the store separately. Alright, so essentially, you can see your balance. Hooray. Camouflages no longer have economical bonuses. Alright, so apparently they used to be able to get you bonus to your Oh, your economics. My guess is that this is what they did. They replaced this probably with premium time, I'm assuming, because the game was going live at this point. Combat bonuses for premium camouflages are fixed at minus 4.5 detectability, plus 4.5 dispersion. So exactly what they are now. Can come in 4 kinds, 1 stat at 3 at but both stats at 3%, both at 4.5. So apparently they did have tiers, but it was based on which camouflage you get, because I don't think they had the tier system for camouflage back then. Alright, containers. The transport ship has arrived. Oh yes, I think it's the Red Oak or whatever it is. Liberty ship, believe it or not. Has arrived in port and with it did containers. Containers will be awarded. Oh yes, we love our containers. Oh, pay us money and we will give you stuff in return. It might be worth it. It might not. You don't know until you buy our crates. All right, so yeah, they introduced containers. Go figure. It's going live. Got to get the money from the normies somehow. UI improvements. We've had a partial overhaul due to the interface. Our biggest change, of course, the fonts. All right, so they changed the fonts. Whoop-de-ding. Select Commander tab. That's an improvement. New marker is now a place of the WG logo denoting the game entities have become available. Okay. Battle screen now shows XP placement within the team. Oh, okay, so they didn't have the ranking on the original, I guess. You can now access the results of the battles played within the current gaming session. So same as it is now. Improve the ship images on the tech trees. Apparently they look like hot garbage before. Animated the focus frames of the menu items. I guess that's... I mean, all this is basic level stuff. Damage counter is now accordingly labeled. Apparently they had it wrong at first. Let's just move on. Alright, graphic improvement. Kagero was remodeled. Anti-aliasing, which is graphics jargon. If you know, you know. HDR enabled on Xbox One X and PlayStation systems. Ooh, that's fancy. True Full HD resolution enabled. Oh man, that's sweet. Improved tech tree or improved trees interaction and lighting. All right, so they improved the lighting. Miscellaneous changes, cosmetic flags. Oh, here's the thing: cosmetic flags were added, but only in a limited capacity. Now I remember this. Believe it or not, folks, there was a time where the concept of adding a flag to your ship was kind of like weird and mysterious, and you only had a few back in the day. It was wild back then. It was like the Wild West of flags, so not very exciting at all. Collision prevention system can now be turned off. That's good, because that thing sucks. Tech tree. By the way, if you don't have collision prevention turned off, turn it off. All it does is basically grab control of your ship, and rarely it works anyways. Tech tree graphics have been improved. Okay. You can delete your wargaming. Oh, go away, side menu. Fuck you, Reddit. Alright, count leveling. Alright, essentially the rest of it is just boring jargon. Not very interesting stuff. Now, luckily, I keep a good detailed record of all the ships for every update. And this is what World of Warships looked like back in the grand old day of April 2019. This is when the game first hit the market. Of course, the gray ships are the tech tree ships. As you can see, we only had 3 tech trees back then. US, Japan, and the United Kingdom. You had some other nations. Actually, they didn't mention Germany, and I find it funny that they didn't mention Germany for the nations available. Because you also got Avant Spee. Yeah, they didn't mention that in the patch notes. Very, very sneaky wargaming. Alright, so, as you can see, you didn't have a whole lot of premiums. Actually, it was funny because at this time, you only had 6 nations in the game. Only 3 were accessible, just right off the bat for a free-to-play player. There were 50 tech tree ships. There were 9 premium ships, total of 59 ships in the entire game. Bear in mind, we are over 600 now. Actually, I think we're almost to... God, I forgot what we're up to now. I think it's 675. So, I mean, we've come a long way. Number of commanders, there were only 24 commanders in the game up to this point. Now, let's cover the premiums. Now, this is fun. All right, so you might have seen the Marblehead out there. Heck, you might have the Marblehead. This is not that Marblehead. This is the Marblehead Founders Edition. Back then, it wasn't even called the Founders Edition Marblehead. In fact, I remember the first time I logged in and I saw FE after my Arkansas, and I was just so fucking confused. I was like, what the fuck does Arkansas Fay? What Fee diddly stee? What's going on here? Anyways, eventually I figured out it means Founders Edition. Those were the fancy ones that you cannot get at all now. You'll never get them unless apparently you know someone, or I don't know. You gotta have an inside track apparently if you want to get them, and even then it might be a stretch. But here's the thing: there were 4 Founders Edition ships that you could get at various tiers of Founders Edition, or Founders, the Founders Edition. So, if you bought the Founders Edition Premium, which was the lowest tier one at $30, you got the Iwaki and the Arkansas. I actually bought this one. And bear in mind, this is back in the day when I was like absolutely against spending any money on this game. I wanted the Arkansas. I really did. It's just the Wyoming, an older version of the Wyoming, but still, it's basically just the Wyoming. But it's the Arkansas. Hey, I like American battleships. The Iwaki, I did not care. It's a paper ship. I really could have given a fuck about that one. But I wanted the Arkansas. Now, in retrospect, I kind of wish I would have gone a little bit higher, because if you'd gone $60, you got the Marblehead on top of it. And I didn't know the Marblehead was going to be all that cool. All I saw was, it's another Omaha. I don't even like the Omaha that much. Because like I said, I played this on PC. I didn't like the Omaha over there. It's because I didn't really know how to play it back then. Now, you know, the Omaha and the Marblehead are pretty fucking busted. Marblehead's probably one of the best versions of the Omaha in the game. But yeah, if you would have spent the extra money on it, you would have gotten the Founders Edition. And if you would have spent all the money, if you would have picked the Founders Edition Ultimate Bundle, $110, you'd have gotten the Gremyachi. Oh man, this was kind of cool. This was basically getting a Russian commander day one with a Russian ship day one. Big time cool. Big time cool. Especially because the Gremyachi is fucking busted as fuck. Still is to an extent. It's not as good as it was, but man, was it a good ship back in the day. I wasn't willing to spend that much on it. In retrospect, I'm kind of happy because that account has pretty much been abandoned at this point. So, much like my Founders Edition Arkansas, it's just dust in the wind. By the way, if you want to know the difference between the Founders Edition ships and the regular ships, to my knowledge, I believe stats-wise they are exactly the same. The only difference is these come with fancy skins that were only available if you bought the Founders Edition packs. That being said, you still get the cool little FE after your name. If you see them in a match, you know, okay, they've been around. They've been there since day one. They're either going to be a tremendous douchebag or a massive, tremendous douchebag. One of the two. There's a slight chance they might not be a douchebag, but I mean, it's a very slight chance. It's fucking World of Warships Legends. Everyone's a douchebag. You know you are. Don't give me that shit. You know you're a douchebag. I'm a douchebag. Alright, so a few other things to kind of go over. Alright, the Smith was part of the Turn of the Tide mission. This was introduced fairly early on. I don't remember when. I think it might have been a few days into the update. I might have the release date wrong on this. I was actually really excited to see the Smith, especially because you could get it for free. And this was a cool ship. Honestly, if you don't have the Smith, God, get the Smith. If you can find a way to get the Smith, get the Smith. It's still available from time to time. It's a damn good Tier 2 destroyer. It's barely got any health. It has shitty guns. It can only launch, I think, 2 torpedoes at a time from each side, or from one per side. But it can do them, I want to say the reload on it's like 10 fucking seconds. So, I mean, you can just spam the fuck out of torpedoes. They might not hit anything. They got shitty range. But, man, you could throw so much shit at the enemy that usually they don't have a chance. This thing is a nightmare for fucking battleships. It's just a fun little ship to play, honestly. This is honestly one of the most fun Tier 2 ships for destroyers, I would say, in the game. So that was a lot of fun. You can pick that up for free within, I want to say, the first week. We'll come back to the alphas towards the end. Yubari. All right, so this was interesting. You could buy this for 3,750 doubloons. God, I don't even know what that is in real money. I think it's 25 bucks. Or maybe it's 20... No, I think it's 24 bucks. Yeah, it sounds about right. All right, so basically you're going to pay 20 and some change for the Yubari. The Yubari still is, in my opinion, a really good Tier 3 premium cruiser. But here's the thing. You could also pick it up from completing the Turning the Tide mission, which I did back in the day. That's how I got mine for free. I didn't have to actually spend money on it. And I think you can actively just buy this in the store now. It's a damn good ship. I would highly recommend it. It's really good. I think you can pick it up really cheap in the shop. It's got like weird arcs, but honestly, for Tier 3, it's one of the really, really good ships at that tier. It just buries the Iwaki, and the Iwaki's pretty darn good, to say the least. So I highly recommend the Yubari in the store if you're so inclined. It's a very cheap ship. I don't even think you'll pay $5 for it at this point. Maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe it's a $10 buy. Either way, I would say it's worthwhile if you like Tier 3. Which, if you're sick in the head like I am, you might like Tier 3. Alright, so Bliss Wicca. This is the first like premium in the store that they put out there. I loved it back then because it wasn't a pan-Europe ship. This was a Polish ship. Like, straight up, its nation was Poland. And I'm Polish, so naturally I love that. By the way, Bliska Wicca, I'm pronouncing that wrong. No doubt. And I don't care. Hey, I'm Polish, I can do that. Honestly, even if you're not Polish, mispronounce it all you want. I don't fucking... Call it fucking John Smith. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, that was $50 in the store, so you're paying basically the retail price for a Tier 6 ship. Which, hey, you know, that's how they made their money. They sold you a really... And bear in mind, Bliska Wicca is no fucking slouch even to this day. For a Tier 6 destroyer, it's pretty darn good. And this was a really good one, especially when compared to its contemporaries. I mean, back then, God, you're going up against Jervis, Fubuki, I mean, Fubuki's pretty good. Mahan. No, I still say Bliskawicka blows those out of the fucking water. Alright, so let's get into the weird little ships. G101 Alpha and Texas Alpha. Alright, so Texas was not available on release. I think it came a few updates down the line, maybe the next one. But if you played the alpha, if you got in on the alpha test, one of your rewards was the Texas Alpha. And another reward was the G101 Alpha. Now, the Texas is cool enough, don't get me wrong. It's a tier 4 American battleship. It's the Texas, and it comes with a sweet skin. Stats-wise, I don't know the difference. There might be a difference. If it is, it's probably negligible. But it's a very unique ship. If you see a Texas Alpha out there, oh man, you're dealing with someone who is basically a playtester when they did the alpha of this game. Really cool. I wish I had one, but obviously my jaw doesn't dislocate that much to fit all that dick in my mouth from wargaming. I just could not get one. And I honestly didn't even know there was an alpha test out there back in the day. But the G101, now this was really fucking cool. Because Germany wasn't even listed as a nation in the game yet they technically had a destroyer out there. I mean, if you were playing the game on launch and you saw a G101 Alpha out there, it was just like, holy fuck, what the fuck is that? I hope that becomes a thing sooner or later. And eventually they did put the G101 in, but it took them a while. And G101, again, that's as far as German destroyers go, it's pretty good for a tier 3. It's better than the V170 in my opinion. I like it. I really wish I had the alpha. Again, this is another one where generally I'm pretty certain the only difference is the fancy alpha skin and the little alpha after its name, and the bragging rights that, like, I've been around since the dawn of time, and I sucked the most cock in the Discord server to get this ship. So, hey, you got that going for you. It's strongest knees in all the land, you know? Credit given where it's due, I guess. So anyways, let's look into the commanders. We had the general commanders for each ship. One universal, 2 cruisers, 2 destroyers, 2 battleships. Of course, CVs weren't in the game back then. Pretty much who they are now. But you had basically the core 7 commanders for each nation. Now you also had special commanders. Maximilian von Spee. The only way that you were going to get this is you had to have the G101 Alpha. And bear in mind, it's old school von Spee. There really wasn't any German ships in the game. They basically just threw him in so the G101 would have something. That was really cool to have Maximilian von Spee back in the day. Or at least I assume it does, because my knees are too soft for the wargaming floor. And like I said, my jaw's not big enough. And I didn't get on the alpha test. But if you spent $110, because you're that kind of girl, you could get the Gremiachi, and you got Anton Gurin. And Anton Gurin, I still say to this day, is one of the best. I don't know, actually. Trubetskoy, I think is the guy's name. I don't know. Trubetskoy is not bad. Anton Gurin's a good gunboat commander, though. And yeah, Anton Gurin was a good commander. Of course, if you got the Polish ship, and might I add Polish, not pan-Europe, Polish, with the big Polish flag and oh my god, it was so fucking beautiful, folks. So fucking beautiful. If I had $60 back in the day, I'd have bought it. But I didn't. Actually, I did. I just didn't want to spend money. You got Jerzy Swirsky with it. And Jerzy Swirsky, Still a great fucking commander to this day. I want to say the best destroyer commander for the Pan-Europe line. Honestly, one of the most used inspirations on a lot of ships. Jerzy Swirsky is fucking tops. And you got him like right on day one. So, man, you were doing concealment builds really good if you had a Jerzy Swirsky on day one. Actually, I don't think they put this in the store on day one. It might have been a few weeks into the update. Either way, that's what you had. Anyways, that was the state of the game back in April 2019, folks. This is what the game was like when it first came out. And man, you talk about a fun time. Think about it. There were only 59 ships in the entire game. That's wild. That's why, I mean, Jesus Christ. There's not even a nation in the game that has that. Well, actually, I think there are a few nations that don't have that many ships. But still, I mean, you got more. God, you got more. It's obscene. Not to mention, I mean, look at this ratio. Man, 50 tech tree ships to 9 premium ships. At this point, it's actually, I mean, God, that's a 5-to-1 tech tree. I mean, hell, now it's at least a 3-to-1 premium to tech tree. So I mean, it's just completely gone the other direction. But it is wild. I mean, I don't know if this will be interesting to anyone. I find it interesting. Yeah, as you know, I make these videos for myself more than anyone because I'm a huge narcissist. But, I don't know, maybe you'll enjoy this. And if you do, hey, glad you enjoyed it. This is a trip down memory lane. This is what the game was like back in my day. Perhaps it was like what the game was like back in your day too. Maybe you're just feeling a little nostalgic and want to remember what it was like back on April 19th, 2019. God, what a time. Before the pandemic, before I don't know, before a lot of bullshit, and that's for certain. Before carriers. I like carriers, but a lot of people hate them. Man, if you hate carriers, you will love the game back then. Because there was not a carrier in sight. All you had were a bunch of fucking broken-ass destroyers out there ruining your day and eating your breakfast. Anyway, folks, that was a trip down memory lane. Hope you enjoyed it. You probably didn't, but hey, you know, take off, hoser. You know, maybe it's not your cup of biscuits. I don't know. I don't care. But if it is, thanks for watching. Have a good one, folks.
I don't know very much about the wombats. I couldn't tell a ferret from a flea. But if you want to learn about the octopus or rainbow trout, just ask me. I know all about the whales. I know all about the whales. From the gills down to their tails, from their nostrils to their scales. I know all about the whales. I may not be an expert on dingoes or possums up a eucalyptus tree, but anyone who's really keen on creatures who are submarine...